guest today, Harumi and Pyro. Sorry, I had to do a little bit of a restart because our title was wrong. But welcome to the Crossroads Tavern, everyone. I am Vespi, and today is another episode of Small Talk. Yay for episode 17! Thank you guys for following along for so long. In case you guys don't know, Small Talk is a interviewing podcast thing I do with fellow streamer friends I meet across my journey around my travels. I pick up and kidnap people, and I just ask them a bunch of questions between 1.5 and 2 hours, and we talk about whatever the guest wants. And today, our guest is drumroll Dell, BRC _ Dell. He is a longtime friend of mine from our days in the scenario, and he helped me bring my baby old girl PC here together. Maybe it'll be mentioned, but he's got one of my favorite interactions ever. I didn't know something about a RAM stick. I'm sure actually we can go on ahead and talk about that at some point, but yeah. Thank you guys all for waiting on me, and I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. One more thing before we get started. I am portaling Dell's model from another dimension, and I give our guests option for this. And what this usually does, though, to the stream is chat becomes very delayed. I cannot help that, so I'm very sorry if eventually chats just show up at a different time than they're supposed to, but that's okay. The point of this podcast is to get to know the guest anyway, so we'll just do our best with that. And as always, if you guys would like to ask the guest anything, we have a channel redeem. Feel free to redeem that, and we'll go on and answer those questions an hour in, as well as at the end. And I've been trying out this thing for a little bit, and so let me know if this works, if this doesn't work, if maybe there's another timing thing that I can do, because I've been struggling with the questions of small talks. Like I want chat to be able to ask questions, but I also just don't want to I don't know. I feel like I don't want to interrupt the guest's flow. So I'll do my best to play by ear. But if you guys have any insights, I welcome that. So, okay. Yeah. Without further ado, let's go find our guest. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. I'm not there.
Not yet. Okay. Hi.
Except.
Where are you?
There we go. I want to be funny. Hi.
He did a cool thing. Let's go.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi, welcome.
I'm so happy to be here.
Welcome. Thank you so much for coming on. One more thing. I'm sorry. Let me know if audio is overpowering either one of us. Let me know if things are balanced, if things are not balanced. I like to very much keep an eye on that. That was so cool, right? I wasn't expecting that. What the heck?
That's how I open every time. It's like that is just my standard scene transition.
That is so cool. Okay. Wow. Then. Okay. Would you like to introduce yourself, stranger?
We're not strangers, Vespi, but sure. Happily. Hi, my name's Dell. I'm a netrunner. The idea for me is basically I just rebuilt a floor in an abandoned mega building somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
That now serves as the hideout. And pretty much anybody in the street who needs like some shelter, a place to not get shot at, a place to exist, we can be that for them. And sure, I'm like the lead organizer of this place, and by being a netrunner, I've managed to, yoink some bandwidth and be able to do my streams on it, my transmissions, as I like to call them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very much an open space for everybody, and I just happen to be the loudest here.
Well, thank you for coming and being the loudest with me. I really always appreciate. No, seriously, I know like our time zone differences are hard to fight, and so I'm happy. Thank you.
People are saying I'm kind of quiet.
Yeah.
Don't mess with it. I'm gonna give my mic some preamp.
I just messed with it. I added a gain to the. If you'd like, you can probably. I think it could probably use a tad bit more, just tiny, the tiniest of bits.
I'll go ahead and turn up the microphone's own volume instead of like preamp.
Yes, sir.
Where the hell did that
I
there?
thought I
No,
thought I
not there.
balanced it beforehand. I'm sorry, guys.
You did. You did, but it's like OBS's readouts are not always the most reliable.
No kidding, fuckers.
Oh, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Voice meters at 50%. Hold on.
Okay, well, Kinetic has said that it was all good, so allow me to turn back down the
Oh,
gain filter before you adjust that. Okay, you are
yeah.
free.
How's this?
Uh,
I turned it up. I turned it up a little bit on this side, not full. I can crank it.
crank it.
How's this? This is cranked.
I can't tell the difference.
Okay. Okay. Let's crank on the mic side. How's this?
Ooh, okay, there is now
Is that
difference.
yeah? Because it's all good that the volume needs fixing. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah. This should be better now. I turned it to
okay.
85%. I had my mic down to like 70% because whenever back during March when I was doing singing March covers,
Yeah.
even having it at like 80 to 85% would make it clip.
Oh, I hate that. What do you use to
So,
record?
Audacity.
Ah, okay.
I'm a
All
basic bitch.
reliable. All reliable.
Yeah.
We've all had our
Uh,
beginnings.
record in Audacity,
Mm-hmm.
lip sync over with the model on OBS, put everything together on DaVinci Resolve.
Oh my god, that's so much work. I
Well,
didn't.
because like if I'm singing, right?
Mm-hmm. You're
Uh,
not gonna have the same expressions and like.
exactly. I'm not like
Oh
face
no, we've
acting all the
been there.
mouth
I've been
movements.
there. I've been there. I've lip synced
Yeah.
too. So I freaked out because I'm like, oh my god, I hated doing that. Okay.
If you, it's like if I figure out a workflow for it, right? And because I started late, which meant I ended up doing 2 covers a day for a little bit.
I
I would
see.
just record 2, lip sync 2, and edit 2, because it becomes a very standardized and linear process once you get to it.
Hold on. My pinned message was unpinned. My bad. Okay.
Yeah, from another dimension.
Okay. There we go. Everything's ready. I
Yeah.
prepared so long before stream, and things still were not perfect. Okay, I'm fine. I'm chill. I'm okay. Sorry. Hi, Del. Welcome to
Hi.
today's stream. So, as always, I told him before we went live, but as always, we'll only talk about what the guest wants. So, if we come across something that he is not comfortable with, then we will move on easily, smoothly. Please do not bring it back up if, that's ever the
Yeah.
case. Okay.
It's very unlikely that will happen. Just
Well,
getting that out there.
yeah. Well, we don't know what we might end up talking about.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right.
No,
then-
even with like stereotypically, not stereotypical, even with like typically bad things, I try to be pretty open, but like
yeah.
it's unlikely that we'll stumble into that. Just getting that out there. It's not
Yeah.
the most
Sometimes
likely outcome.
I don't know. Like sometimes I'll ask a question and it just
Yeah.
triggers some childhood trauma, and I'm like, okay, if explaining is gonna make you uncomfortable, I'd rather talk about anything else. You know.
I'm good at laughing about my childhood trauma, so it's fine.
Coping mechanism. Woo! Woo! I'm the same way. But on to more beginner topic things, and then we'll work our way around. But what have you been up to lately?
Oh man, where do I begin? So I work full time as of like the past month-ish. So that was difficult to work with at the start because for the first month I'd been in office every day, meaning I would end up home at not my usual stream slot, but I would be way too dead to stream.
Oh no!
And the usual time at which I would finish stream at would be too late for me to go to sleep and get enough sleep before I'd go like wake up in the morning to go back to work.
Yeah, so you gotta choose,
So
pick your battles.
I'd been gorilla for pretty much the entirety of April. I'm gonna take a sip of water real quick, sorry.
Yeah, feel free. My immersion! There's no water!
Yeah, we'll get to that. I was out with a friend and we were yapping at each other, so now I'm a bit my mouth's a bit dry, but we'll be all right. Since you mentioned that though, I do have that interaction set up. Give me 1 second.
Oh,
where
like
is it?
a
There it is.
water thing?
Yeah, so my hydration redeem is called Water is God.
Oh.
And that is a reference to Stora on YouTube. They're this group of like parkour athletes that have had a YouTube channel for 10 fucking years now, longer than 14 years
Stora?
now. STORROR.
Okay.
They've been a huge inspiration for me, and because like
Yeah, you're
they're-
into parkour. I forgot.
have been since like 2017. Yeah,
Let's go.
because their whole shtick and joke is like like treating water as if it's God, because it's basically the most important thing if you're an athlete, right?
Oh, definitely.
That basically is kind of their thing. They literally have like shirts that say "Water is God" on them.
Ah,
So that is like a very subtle nod to Stora and how much I love them.
has anyone been
Uh,
able to like? Oh, I get that reference.
yeah, not yet. However,
Ah,
here's what this redeem does.
you just get blasted with water.
Yes.
It's not cool with no effects. Hold on, do it again. I got your effects, buddy.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay, I mean, I'm not sure if you heard that. I'm sure my chat
I
heard
did.
that.
I heard that.
Okay.
I heard that, so it probably went through.
Yeah, it works.
And hey, look, Neverfell's here.
Hi, Renzo. Hi, everyone. Welcome on in. Welcome on in.
But yeah.
Actually...
Stora, a long-time favorite of mine. They actually made their own parkour shoe and did 2 runs of it. I bought it both times and destroyed it both times.
What got you into parkour?
This is gonna sound cliche as fuck, but video games.
Nah, man, that's based as hell.
So, from least to most impactful to what got me into parkour, right?
Really
the
quick,
least
just in case there are
impactful,
people
yes.
who don't know the context, can you explain like parkour? What
Right.
parkour is?
Yeah,
Sure.
because it is a misunderstood topic. It's like the thing of people hear parkour like, oh, you like jump off rooftops and do massive flips and shit. No. Kind of. That's like once you become, like a high level elite athlete that's been doing that shit for a decade now, you have you learn to, not even the option to, you will eventually learn to do things like flips and tricks and so on. That is a different like not subgenre, but like kind of.
Okay.
There's 2 terms. Parkour, free running. Parkour is efficiency, free running is self-expression.
Ooh.
Does that make sense? So the core philosophy of parkour is developing yourself and your movement so that you can improve the efficiency of your movement.
Okay, so it's not just
Yeah.
you're mid-maxing your run.
Exactly. It's like I want to go from here to here. I have these obstacles. In what ways can I tackle them to make my way as quickly as possible, or without breaking my bones in the process?
Oh,
Free running,
okay.
on the other hand, was developed by one of so it started as a group in France. One of the few good things to come out of France. I'm sorry.
European jokes. If I laugh,
yeah.
I'll get canceled.
Yeah, that's what you get for being American. It started in France and by this group called the Yamakasi, and one of them broke off because he thought, okay, this is cool, but I kind of wanted to express myself a bit more with it. So he coined the term free running for it and made it into its own thing. Parkour and free running are like parallel or like adjacent disciplines, but free running is a lot more about expressing yourself and turning this is gonna sound really cringy, but turning a space into kinetic art, if that makes sense.
I can kind of see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Whilst
I
parkour
do.
is very strictly about being fast, efficient, and clean.
And which one do you partake in?
Still, just parkour for now.
Okay.
I'm still just. I haven't perfected pretty much anything.
Yeah.
And ever since like the last year of high school back in Greece and getting into uni here, I've also not had as much time to train. So, whilst I'm learning like very basic fundamental stuff to move towards free running, I still may want to make sure that my actual parkour knowledge and skill is there, if that makes sense.
Is this like a solo thing? Do you do it with a group?
It
Like, how
can
does
be.
this work?
Entirely up to you. It's usually a group thing because it makes it easier for people who might be embarrassed or ashamed in public, whilst having more people with you makes it easier. But it's also just completely your choice. If you want to train by yourself or with friends or whatever, it's up to you.
Yeah. And for you personally?
Usually with at least one friend, yeah.
Oh my god, I can't imagine. Like, I don't know. This seems so niche. A lot of my friends are not even, athletes. So just trying to get together for this kind of thing sounds hard.
It is, but about exactly that. There actually is a parkour gym in my city.
Oh, lucky! I see.
It's in a completely different part of town from where I live, but it's also like one bus to get there anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. I haven't gone in a while because money, but
yeah.
since, as I mentioned, I work full time now, so they do like open sessions every Sunday instead of like coaching and lessons and whatnot. It's like place is open, have fun, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I usually did. I would go to open session on Sunday and just throw down with everybody else who was there, and we had a great time.
Wait, what does it mean to throw down?
The equivalent of throw down or like have a jam or just vibe, that sort of thing.
Is this a group activity?
It can be. Again, if you
What?
have a space, if you have a space that fits more than one person, you can have more than one person moving through that space at the same time.
I don't know. In my head, I feel like because these things, I don't know. I guess it can be planned, right? I feel like there'd be so many
Yeah.
accidents and there's like so much cause for
No, because
collision.
it depends, but also okay, rule 0 is always don't die, right? And
Okay, yeah.
as you start practicing parkour and like learning new moves, you will very quickly realize where your current limits are,
Mm-hmm.
and you will know if you're pushing one of those limits.
Okay.
And that's also the core fundamental like philosophy of it. Yes, it's about efficiency, but you can't be efficient if you're dead or severely injured.
Do you have any close stories, close call stories?
Yes. Kind of.
Care to elaborate?
Not so much about I've had friends of mine get injuries that were more serious than I'd like.
Hmm.
And I have in at least one occasion faced the business end of a shotgun.
It,
But
in parkour?
Greece, it was because I was on someone's rooftop and it was late and I wasn't recognized. And
Dell!
there had been a break-in elsewhere in that town that week, which I didn't know about. So like it was just a massive misunderstanding. The guy found me the next day and profusely apologized.
What the
But
heck?
that did happen.
Wait, break it down. What the fuck happened?
So, when I was living back in Greece, right? I was living in this village a few kilometers out of a city.
Right.
And this was in Crete, which is like that big island in the south of Greece,
Yeah.
which culturally is very different to most of the rest of the country.
Okay.
It's very much
It's like country, more.
Yeah, it's way
okay,
more country. It's
okay,
way more
okay.
like
These are my
solve
people.
problems. Yeah, solve problems myself type of situation.
I like how you just said,
And-
yeah, okay.
Yeah, because people also like often just hunt if it's not
Yeah,
for food,
yeah.
for sport mostly, but also you do get a nice lunch out of it or
Mhm.
dinner or like a few, right? There are guns. There are like hunting rifles and hunting shotguns that are
Yeah.
registered like usually. Like hell, my grandpa from dad's side had like 3 or 4 hunting shotguns that he had, registered and paid for and
This
all that.
sounds so America.
But it's like no, because those were locked away, right? And they were never
right.
used. Nobody ever
Okay.
even thought to use them.
Of course.
Because like if grandpa was gonna go hunting, he would get one of them,
Yeah.
and put on like his hunting gear and go and hunt.
Mhm.
But it was never really a thing that was otherwise
Thank you,
even
Esco, for the
mentioned.
5
It's not like
subs.
it's not, oh, I want to defend my house. No, because because this was in a village and everybody knew everyone, so there was nothing to defend from,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
They were
right,
very
right.
strictly just for hunting purposes.
Okay, but for you
Anyway.
to be, yeah.
But yeah, to actually tell you the story, I haven't given all that context. Also, hi, Eska, we see you.
Thank you, Eska.
It was late. It was like 9 or 10 p.m. And it was not during the summer, so it had gotten dark.
Oh,
I was
okay.
with a friend. I was taking him through like a line of rooftops that I really, really enjoyed at that time.
For
Nothing
parkour
to hide.
reasons, or
Just like the vibe in general.
Oh,
It was
okay,
really nice.
okay.
It was like it was higher than the streetlights are, so it wasn't that bright. It was darker. You could
oh,
look into the
how
sky and
pretty!
stuff. It was really nice.
I see.
And at some point, I'm taking him through that spot, and we hear a voice like shouting at us.
Mm-hmm.
And I recognize that person because there were lights in his house and they were like shining onto his face.
Right.
But he doesn't recognize us because we're in the dark. So he calls to his wife to bring him, quote, the gun.
Do you hear that, or is that just how you?
Yeah, we heard it. We
Oh
heard
god!
it.
Oh god!
At which point I realized if I run, I'm gonna get shot.
I doubt it. Wait, are these people that type to pull the trigger? Not
No.
just as a warning? Because, like, I know...
No, not even as a warning. No, not even as a warning.
Okay.
But I don't want to run because it's dark and that makes me look very guilty, so I'm probably gonna get shot.
I mean,
So I'm like,
I guess.
okay, hold on.
The whole
I
point...
moved close.
Okay.
I moved. I shouted him who I am because he knew me.
It's me, BRC_Dell at twitch.tv.
Bruh, this
Don't
was like
forget to like and subscribe. Sorry, go on.
this was how many years before I started streaming? This was many years before.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
no, how
yeah.
it goes in Greece is people know each other by who their parents are.
Oh, Oh, okay. So you're like, I am
So
BRC
yeah,
Adele's
whenever
dad's
someone
son.
doesn't recognize me,
Yeah,
whenever
yeah,
someone
yeah.
doesn't recognize me, it's like, oh yeah, I'm that lady's son because I lived with my
Ah,
mom at the
yeah, yeah,
time,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's how they knew because like
Typical
she was
village
known.
structures.
Exactly,
Uh
exactly.
huh.
Anyway, I tell him who I am, and
Like,
like I
oh.
move closer towards a nearby streetlight so he sees my face. He puts the gun away and he shouts at us to just fuck off.
Valid, understandable. Have
Yeah,
a good
yeah,
day,
understandable.
sir.
So we did. We did in fact
Oh
fuck off.
gosh.
And yeah, he found me at the bus stop. I was still going to at
He
school. I
said
was still
fuck
going to
off
school at the
and then
time.
he apologized? What the
No, no, no.
heck?
He apologized the next day. This
Yeah,
was the next
yeah,
day.
yeah. Why would he
Next morning,
apologize?
you know, for pointing a gun at me.
I mean, he thought he was in danger. Well, not in danger, but
Yeah,
needed
he
to.
did.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
didn't
okay,
know that,
okay.
right?
Well,
Next day,
it's fine.
next day in the morning, as I'm going to the bus stop to go to school, I was still going to school at the time. I was like 16, I think. He's at the bus stop and he calls out to me, and he says, "Hey, you know, I'm really sorry about last night. There had been a break-in like 3 days ago in that same village, so he was really worried and paranoid that we might have been the same thieves."
Oh, I see. Did you know about the
Yeah,
break-ins?
I did not know about the break-in. No, I had no idea.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I see.
I'd never heard of it, and that was actually the second time I'd gotten in trouble because some other asshole had broken into someone's
But the
house
thing
the
is,
week
so
before.
so this wasn't just you parkouring though, right? It was just
No, 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 no.
you.
Well, that's how we got there.
Yeah,
But,
you parkoured to get there. Okay, okay,
mm,
okay. That's funny.
but yeah.
I had thought maybe there'd been like a hustle and tussle with someone
No, no, no,
with
no,
a
no, no,
fellow
no, no.
parkourer, you know.
No, no, no. Oh, no. The parkour community,
Hmm.
both here and back in Greece.
Hi, Jackie.
Someone's
Please
having a
don't
breakdown in
spam.
your chat.
Yeah,
Okay.
I addressed it.
The parkour community, both here and back in Greece, have been absolutely lovely to me.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't had the smallest of arguments ever.
The smallest, but you remember.
Not even.
Oh, okay,
No,
okay.
we haven't had any arguments whatsoever. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
And it's always been wonderful. It's always been very wholesome and encouraging. And, you know, everyone's just really supportive. Even if someone, let's say, has been doing this for 10 years more than you have, and they're doing incredible jumps that you couldn't even fathom were possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
They see you complete a challenge that you've been struggling with,
That
even if
sounds
it's
so
something completely
wholesome.
insignificant to them, they're gonna hype you up.
Yeah, 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 yeah. They said I love seeing vets do this in the
Yeah.
community. You see this in just about
It's
anywhere in games and working out. Like the
yeah,
vets are
it's
always
that kind of
there.
community.
Ah, I
It's that kind of
love it. I
community.
love it. That's so fun. Are you?
And have you seen Tom Scott's video where he learns parkour for a day?
I don't even know who that. Tom Scott?
Tom Scott, yeah. He's
Oh, okay, it's Scott.
some
Yeah, no.
British guy, yeah. What would be a good way to get into it? We'll get to that. Give me a second. Basically, the guy that trains Tom Scott in that video, yeah, he comes down to that gym with us.
Oh, that's so lucky. Does he get
Last
recognized for
Halloween-
that?
Yeah, he does. He's a
Oh,
big
that's so
name in the
cool.
community.
Let's fucking go. That's goals
but
right there.
I was there for Halloween.
I thought you said Tom Scott too.
Yeah, no, in 2022, I was there Halloween 2022. He showed up in a big dino suit.
Cute.
And it
You
didn't
took
have like
pictures, right?
full
You
length
took
legs. I
pictures.
didn't, but some people did. It didn't have like
No.
full length legs or anything, so he was, you know, like stumbling about.
Can you
It
even
was so funny.
parkour that? I feel like you need all
It's
your legs
very
free.
difficult, but he's good enough to do it.
I hate pros. Never mind. Fuck vets. They're too. They deserve hell. How dare
No,
they
they
show
don't.
off?
No, he's lovely, and everyone from that shows up there is lovely.
I'm
That-
sure
yeah.
of it. Yeah.
To explain how small the local parkour community world is, because again, parkour is a worldwide thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the local communities are all very small and tight knit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this other friend of mine that's local, the high school she went to eventually got demolished and rebuilt elsewhere, right?
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
So at some point, though, we were talking about that, and she sends me this video of like, oh yeah, I know you like parkour, so here's this video of like some people doing parkour at the old high school, so you can get a look at the building. I don't know who these people are. I'm like, oh, it's okay, I do. I recognize the people in the video because I'd met them at the gym before.
Oh, that small world.
Small world. Same guy. Same guy. The same guy that trained Tom Scott for that video of his.
Yeah.
Yeah, and showed up in the dinosaur suit. Again, it's a very tightly knit community.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's super wholesome and everyone's really friendly and helpful. And like if you ask for help for something, people will be there to like to spot you or even to like physically, support you through making a move for the first time.
How many? If you had to give a number of how many people are go to that or your local one, like what's the
Right.
number? Because in my head,
I
yeah.
I don't know the total, but open session is usually around like 10 people or fewer.
That's a lot more than I thought. Like I don't.
It's also a bit of a small space, so it gets a bit
Mm-hmm.
cramped, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like we figure it out. Sometimes we both just like two or three of us are gonna set up the same challenge and take turns at it or something.
Setup challenge. You guys make your own challenges,
But yeah, we have like little obstacles of different shapes and sizes, right?
and you put it together,
Yeah, we put them in whatever order, and it's like,
and you're like,
yeah, we
I'm gonna
can,
jump that
yeah, jump it or vault it or whatever. You try to learn different moves and so on,
for fun.
or you could, yeah, because it is fun.
Oh my god! Wait. So you consider yourself an athlete or athletic?
No.
I can't imagine someone not athletic liking this. I hate moving. Whenever I fucking
I
run,
love Okay,
I
don't
feel
know.
like a sack of meat just drifting in the air.
Kind of like skateboarding. Yeah. About that, parkour and skateboard communities kind of have like, okay, we don't really
Overlapping?
No, we don't really overlap much,
Mm.
but the two communities, I think, at least from our side, from what I've seen from the parkour side, there's a lot of respect between parkour and skateboarding and also between parkour and BMX.
Bike. Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
That's what I've seen at least. Because, in terms of both, yeah, hyping each other up, and even if we don't fully understand the difficulty of the other, the things that the other
Mm-hmm.
group's doing, or like what they're fully going for, we still understand that they've been bashing their asses at it for years
For
to get to where
real.
they are.
But you said you've been doing it since 2017 and shit. How do you not consider yourself
Yeah.
an athlete at this point?
Because again, I've not been training as regularly as I used to.
So you
Sure,
so you
like
you would have
by
considered it before.
definition. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, just lately
Because
though. All right. Yeah.
in the past like couple of years or so, which is what I'm trying to get back into, right?
Oh shit!
I want to try to get back
Oh
into
my gosh, that'd be
going
so
to open sessions, and I'm
crazy.
trying to get back into actually taking classes and stuff.
Can you imagine
But, yeah.
streaming this? I think that'd be
It
so
would be
much
fun.
fun. And there's
Oh, it would be amazing. It would be absolutely amazing.
what?
Because we're not the gym I go to is owned by one group, yes,
Mhm.
but it's not the only parkour group in town. There's also like a local university has a parkour group.
Oh, okay.
So
Uni kids. That's gonna be a fun
Yeah.
group.
how sick would it be for us to just like do a thing together, just have a jam together at some place?
Yeah, why don't you?
There's
What's
a lot
stopping
of
y'all?
places in organization, I guess, and nobody's pitched it. I don't know.
Be
someone has
the
pitched it and
one.
Yeah, it got lost, and I'm guessing people have thought of this before, but there's a long, big gap between coming up with something and making it a real event.
Mhm.
And the reason I know that is because that's the process I'm in right now.
Yeah.
Wow, that's the smoothest fucking transition I've ever pulled off.
All right,
If you
go.
look at my shirt, it says Le Tour de Hack on it. It's kind of obscured by the table, but still.
Hold on. I can fix this.
Yeah, just scooch the table down a bit if you don't mind.
Poof.
Oh, that works. Yeah. So Le Tour de Hack, wow, smooth transition, is not related to parkour at all. It's a cybersecurity conference / technical conference, right? Oh, but actually, fuck it. Before I move on, let me answer Atlan's question of what would be a good way to get
Wait,
into it. Right?
no. Those are answered. I'm sorry, I should have mentioned that.
Oh, is it at the end?
Yeah, an hour into the podcast we'll answer, and at the end.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I should have
Okay,
explained
sticking
that.
on topic then.
I always
No,
forget.
I've heard you mention that before, but I forgot. Okay,
No,
let's move on.
no worries. I should have. I should.
forgot.
It's okay. Me too.
So LTDH, as we call it for short, is a cyber / programming in general oriented conference that is run entirely by university students.
Ooh.
Right?
Mhm.
So I've mentioned this before to you, but
You're no longer a uni
for-
student, are you?
I'm done, but I'm not graduated yet
What?
because my university does 2 rounds of graduations, one in the summer and one in the autumn, but I finish in December. I got my classes done in December.
Oh, okay.
I'm
So you're just
for
waiting.
the-
What the
for
heck?
the summer
You're
graduation, yeah.
you're basically graduated.
I'm basically not a student anymore.
Yeah.
But like,
Okay, got
anyway,
it.
that being said, I've been the president of my university's cybersecurity society for this year. Right?
Nice. Look at
I think
you.
I think I
Ha,
brought this
nerd.
up a while ago when it happened, but yeah, it's at the tail end of it now,
Mm-hmm.
and our flagship event for the year is basically this conference, which is a 2-day conference where day one is like a really standard tech conference format.
Mm-hmm.
Because like yeah, you come in, you have like your opening remarks and a keynote, and then there's like 3 different tracks of professionals doing talks on topics that they like.
Okay.
One of the 3 tracks is uni students only.
Okay.
We separate it to encourage people to do, their first conference talks and things like that. So that if you've got something you're passionate about that you want to talk to people about, to an audience, we can give you this stage here at our
Okay.
big flagship conference and you can have some experience doing that. But that's been going on for a few years now. And for this year, again, we've got a bunch of speakers. We're also halfway through the day, we're doing this panel that is specifically about women and gender minorities in cybersecurity.
Mm-hmm.
And the main topic is why would you go into this industry in the first place, right?
Right.
So we've got some PhD students, we're working at getting a couple of industry professionals in there, and we've got a friend of mine who is
How dare
simultaneously a
you?
PhD student and like an entrepreneur. She started her own business. So we've got some good speakers for that. And day 2 is what we call a CTF. Now, it does stand for capture the flag, yes, but it's not what you think of. It's not the it's a it's got nothing to do with like your usual thought of capturing a physical flag or anything along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
So a CTF in the cybersecurity context is basically an event that gets you a series of challenges of ascending difficulty. So things like, decrypt this text, or like find a vulnerability in this machine and exploit it, or dig for someone's private information, which is obviously like you make up fake profiles for that, right? We make like you can make like, ooh, you're getting slapped with stars.
Sorry,
Okay.
sorry, sorry. I had to send a quick
That's okay.
message.
All good. You make like, let's say, a fake social media profile, and you tell people, dig for private information on this person and figure out their password for me, or break into their fake account. And every challenge you complete, depending on its difficulty, gives you some points.
Okay.
So like 10, 20, 50, 100 points, depending on how difficult it is.
Right.
And how a challenge is marked as completed is whenever you solve whatever puzzle it is, you get a little string of text that's called a flag. And that's why it's called a capture the flag challenge, basically.
Okay.
So for day 1, we're having like a full-on cybersecurity conference, and day 2 will entirely just be a huge CTF event.
Huge. And people, is this the normal?
It is normal. It's a thing that is happening. It's just that we were, one of the first. I say we. This society and Little to Hack was one of the first student-run conferences in this country,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been going for a while. QR code within past stream VODs. Yeah, I've done that. In fact, one of my past streams contains a flag for this year's Little to Hack CTF. We're playing the long game on everything. But yeah, it's been very stressful organizing everything for this.
Yeah, I bet. What the heck? If you've been the president, are you the one spearheading everything?
Spearheading's a strong word. I'm a member of a team of 4 right now, and we
Mm-hmm.
are all busting our asses. And
Okay.
considering that everyone except me is still active at university as a student, and I'm working full time, we have very limited free time to make this work, and we still are making this work.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
And pretty soon
Right
you'll
now,
see.
we're
Yeah,
looking at
yeah.
around 100 people ish.
Let's go. That's a shit ton.
Yeah, I'm happy with how it's going. It's not as big as last year was, but
Mm-hmm.
the difference between how big last year was and this year is rapidly shrinking. So
Will you guys
it's
be
gonna be
able? Oh, sorry. Go on.
yeah, it's gonna be just as good, I think. You were gonna
Yeah.
ask?
Well, I was just gonna bring up like for next year. Is there
Mm-hmm.
will so this is for only uni students?
No.
Oh, it's open as well to the public.
Literally anyone
Mm-hmm.
can buy a ticket and show up. If you'll
Would
be
this be
in the
something?
area.
Yeah, but
Sure. Is that a
who?
Yeah, you were gonna say?
Once you're done with, I guess, school and have no affiliation with that uni, would you be? Would you go back? Would you buy your ticket and be I don't
I
know.
would buy a ticket. I
Let's
would. I
go. Yeah, yeah.
I can't run for committee again
Mhm.
because to be part of like the society's committee, you have to be a student.
Mhm.
But what we do basically, we have like a Discord server and everything. So members from past committees are still here to support current committee and to give advice.
That's so cool.
So
Alumni
yeah,
come back. Okay, okay.
basically committee veterans stick around and help out new committees and so on.
Mhm.
And as much as yeah, I have it's been a wild rush, a wild sprint even to actually be the president of the society for this year.
Mhm.
I would not do it again.
Wait, why?
Well,
Why?
actually I might because it's really stressful. There's so many things to keep track of. But
Like you might
maybe I would
because it's really stressful?
no, maybe I would do it again because it's difficult but really fun. But I
Oh,
don't
okay,
get to
okay.
think about that because I'm not eligible anymore because I'm not going to be a student next year, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
yeah, I graduate from uni specifically this summer.
What about wait. Oh, never mind. It's
um
it's probably already written in because there's some people who extend their education and stuff. So maybe it's like, oh,
I did that.
mhm.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say in this country where I am, normally a degree is 3 years, right?
Right.
However, you have the option to do a fourth year, which at that point you do a dissertation, an honors project, right?
Why would you choose to do
And
that?
because it gives you a slightly higher grade of degree, you get an honors degree instead of a regular one. And also because it's like,
Oh.
it's basically your first ever academic research project, effectively.
Why'd you decide to do that?
Spite primarily.
Spite is
Okay,
powerful.
I did want to do a full 4 years because I really like. Okay, this is kind of an ego thing, but I really wanted to get a degree that on it says first class honors and my name on it.
Ooh, that does sound fancy. I get that.
I did. I managed to achieve that just barely. I barely got first class, but I did get it.
You got it. You got it. Doesn't matter if it's
By
barely. A win is
yeah,
a dub is a dub.
we'll get to some stories from that as well.
Fuck yeah.
Um, but the reason okay, I didn't know what I wanted to do for my dissertation for my honors project, right? I wasn't sure
Mhm.
because it's supposed to be like a new piece of research or something along. It doesn't have to be completely new. It's not like oh you're doing a PhD, you have to like push the field forward. It can be something that's been done before as long as it's an actual as long as it's an actual project you're working on and has something new to it.
Something new?
So something new. It doesn't have to be completely new research, right? You can,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
obviously, how referencing works is you build on top of existing research, but it doesn't have to be completely new as long as it's new enough to be its own thing, if that
Okay.
makes sense.
Roger.
So what I did was this is really spiteful of me, but you know USB Type C, right? The plug.
Yes.
You know how you can charge things with it.
Some, yes.
Charging is the only thing that USB Type C is not the best at. Every other thing that USB C does, it does it just as good as any other option.
Okay.
USB C can do so fucking many things, by the way. Um,
Hold on. It's like
it
it's
it
the
is
it's
the
the
one.
it's the longer
Yeah.
one, right? This the rectangle?
No. That's USB Type A. USB Type C is the one you see at the bottom of phones.
Oh, okay. Is this the one for
Yeah.
iPhones or Samsung?
iPhones now have it too, as of the
Fuck.
15.
Okay, is it an oval or a trapezoid?
It's the oval one.
Oh, it's popular, so it's
Yeah,
everywhere.
it's the good one. It's
Okay,
popular because it is literally the best connector we have right now.
but you
And
said
Apple
that it's
took
not the
way
best
too
at
long to switch
charging.
iPhone to it. It's not in a way that will affect your phone.
Oh,
Phones
okay.
are not entirely relevant in this situation, but let me explain.
Okay.
The things you can do over this cable, right? You
Okay.
can with one USB-C cable, you can run wired internet, you can run sound, you can run a couple of USB-A ports, like USB sticks and shit,
Mm.
and you can drive two screens at the same time
With this one, damn.
with this
Okay.
one cable.
At the same time.
In fact, that's what I do. Whenever I go to work, right? I
Ha.
have a laptop. I have a
Mm-hmm.
work laptop that I just plug into a dock, and that dock has a USB-C port, a USB-A port, two screens, and the charger going through all that same cable.
That's I I don't quite understand the
It is
gravity, but that
amazing.
sounds very useful.
So you know how many things are there currently plugged into the back of your computer?
Okay, a lot. I'm not going back there.
Yeah,
Almost every
exactly.
port is used.
Yeah. So you've got, I'm guessing, like two screens, a pair of headphones, some speakers possibly.
Yeah.
What if it all took one cable?
That would be lit.
And that cable also gave your computer power to turn on with.
I would buy that.
Exactly. So
You should
USB
be a
Type C fucking
salesman.
slaps. The only thing that it's not the best at is delivering power.
But I
It
feel like you
goes
can
up
adjust
to
that.
kind of. You can, but there comes a point where you risk electrocuting people.
That's a chance I'm willing to take.
that's
No.
that's kind
But
of that's kind of the attitude I went into it with. But
okay.
okay, USB Type C does up to 240 watts of power, which is enough for like an expensive laptop or one of those recent phones that charge, from 0 to 100 in like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yes, there are phones that do that. However, that's not enough power to run like a desktop PC, a really powerful desktop computer,
Okay. Gotcha.
or an incredibly powerful workstation laptop. So if you are like an engineer and you do simulations or you render things all the time, or if you're a programmer in some specific fields that do really demanding things, if let's say you work at Google and you're part of the team that makes Chrome, right?
Right.
Building Chrome from its code into a program takes a lot of time.
Is is Chrome not a program?
It is, but like someone has to write code that then gets built into being a program, right?
Okay, hold on. I'm super baby at this. 1 second. So
Okay.
code
So how
becomes a
you
program, right?
yeah, it's a
So you're
process called
talking
compiling it.
yeah, so you're talking about the compiling. The person
Exactly.
who
So
compiles.
I can write a program today and I can put the code up on the internet, right?
Sure.
But if someone downloads that code, they can't just double click and run it.
Uh-huh.
They have to actually build it and make it become a program. It's a process. That's why usually whenever you download something, it's just built and a program ready for you to run. But there's
Oh
a
my
lot
god.
behind that. There's a lot behind that people never have to deal with.
Exactly. I don't understand anything you like. I'm
Yeah,
trying
I
so
want to
hard.
acknowledge. I want to acknowledge something that Pyro just said. Saying something scary about USB-C is that if you find a free airport charging station for your phone, it's also a data cable and you can access people's phones, so don't use them. That's not just USB-C. That is any loose cable in those airport charging stations and stuff. Those are not safe.
I what?
You can secure them. So there is a little device that is, funnily enough, named a USB condom. I'm not joking. And what it does is you plug that into the port and it lets power through, but it doesn't let data through. Like it physically cuts off the.
Why don't they just change the ports? Why don't they add that to the ports at the
Because
airports?
that costs money.
So does trying to steal my identity back.
Yeah, but the idea is okay, these are not guaranteed to be unsafe, right? They're usually fine. However,
They can be
they
abused.
can be, yeah,
If
because things like that are typically not built that well, both on the hardware side and the software side. So
fuck.
if I'm near them and I'm an asshole, I could hypothetically, if I could hypothetically take control of one of them and you plug your phone in, I can send to your phone over USB whatever the fuck I want.
That's
So
creepy.
let's say you run an old phone that's not been updated in 5 years, right? Which a lot of people do. A lot of people do. A lot of people don't update their phones, or they just use old phones that don't get updates anymore. So you plug your phone into one of those boxes, and I see the signal that says, "Hey, a phone got plugged in. It's this type of phone." I can then go online and look up, okay, what vulnerabilities does this have?
You can just look up a phone's vulnerabilities.
You can look up anything vulnerabilities.
What
How
the?
vulnerabilities go is whenever something is found, the honorable thing to do is to publicly disclose it. So that goes into a public database. Well, okay, typically, first of all, let's say I find a flaw in like a system a bank has, right?
Okay.
that would normally allow me to like make my way into someone's account and steal them money.
Right.
If I don't like being illegal, which I typically don't, what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna contact the bank and tell them, hey, I found this. You might want to fix it.
Right. Okay.
And then you give them all you do some writing and you give them all the paperwork of this
That's
is
if
how
you
I
know what
found
you're
it.
looking at.
Yeah, of course. This is the shit cybersecurity professionals do. It's like,
Holy
this is what I
shit.
found. This is how you can do it. This is how you can fix it. Here's everything.
Mm-hmm.
And typically, in return, what industries do, or what banks and like companies in general do, is they pay you for it.
Interesting. So,
They pay you back for the money you save them, basically. And
what?
that is what we call a bug bounty.
That's funny. So people would probably just be going out there trying to spot vulnerabilities and like
Exactly.
pay me for
And
fixing or finding your problem.
well, you're not obligated to pay someone who submits a bug bounty to you.
But
It's
I'm just
kind of just
saying
like,
they have that
yeah,
over you. They're like they know
yeah, it's like it's an honorable
that's
thing to
hush
do. And
money.
it's not hush money at all, because even if you don't pay the bug bounty, right? Even if you don't get paid,
Uh huh.
what typically happens is someone finds a vulnerability, privately discloses it to the people that they found it to,
Mm-hmm.
and then once the whole thing's fixed, then publicly discloses it and says,
Ah. Okay.
this is what I found. It's been fixed. If anybody is running the same thing that these people are, go update so you don't have that weakness anymore.
I see. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. And that's why those things are public. It is in the best interest of the people for those knowledge to be public.
Of course. Yeah.
Because,
But
yeah,
I feel
because
like
otherwise there
companies
could be,
would be very trying their best to not have those so public.
sure, but it also reflects really well in a company
Mm-hmm.
to take that seriously, to fix a problem,
Oh
and to say,
yeah,
hey, we fixed
definitely.
it.
I
Yeah.
rarely see companies take that approach, to be honest.
If you look, it's something I discovered once I started, like, at least vaguely looking into cybersecurity, is that bug bounties are very common.
I see. How nice. How
It,
nice. Okay.
yeah, it's really all built on pretty much like an honor and reputation system, but it's one that works so well.
It's time to become a cybersecurity Vespi just to
Don't.
get bug bounties. Bug bounties sound so cute.
Yeah. It's listen, to put it into perspective, I've never done a bug bounty
Why not?
because because with how well developed security systems are today,
Mm-hmm.
if you're not already a leading professional, it is very unlikely that you'll find something like that.
Ah, damn it. You know what? That would be
So,
a cool stream idea.
yeah, no. Poking for bug bounties in my local bank in the public eye, no. That's a
Yeah.
speed run to getting arrested.
Oh, is that how that is? Okay, fine. But
Mm.
you're trying to help them.
Wait, the donut kiosk? What was this?
Eh?
No, Outland just said something in chat, and Outland's like an IRL friend of mine. He technically has. He's just being modest. Remember the donut kiosk? I don't remember the donut kiosk, but what I do remember. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just tell this story. This was a big funny.
Okay,
So a long time ago, not even like a couple years ago,
the four
um,
nations lived in harmony.
I
Sorry.
lost my passport,
Fuck, that's
and
stressful.
I had to head down to the embassy in London
Uh huh.
to get a new one printed because like my local consulate couldn't do that for some reason. So because I'd lost it, I needed someone else to from the same country as me to like sign that I am who I say I am, right?
Right.
I ping a friend of mine who was Greek and he lived nearby. I tell him, hey, do you want to go to London? So we do. We head down and we're having lunch at this place in like the London city center. I'm not
Right.
gonna name any names for obvious reasons, but we're having lunch at like this place in London city center. And whenever someone makes an order, they have a screen that puts like your name on it, or
Mm.
the order number rather. It puts the number of the order and
Oh
say,
yeah, yeah,
oh,
yeah, yeah.
we're making this or come pick this up.
Okay, okay.
Right. Uh I'm sitting at the table and he's gone down to order. I tried to connect to like the place's Wi-Fi on my phone just to
Mm-hmm.
check my messages and so on. Nothing special.
Yeah.
On that note, don't do important things on public Wi-Fi. Just getting that out there.
Wait,
And
why?
because public Wi-Fi is not very secure.
Oh my
Um,
god.
we'll talk about that in a bit. I tried to connect to the public Wi-Fi, just just to check like Discord and shit. Nothing special. That's the story you're going for? Okay, yeah, that wasn't a donut place, but yeah, that makes sense. And then, you know how some places the public Wi Fi asks you for some information before you connect?
Mm-hmm.
They were asking for way too much information. It was like, oh, give us your first and last name and your email address and your phone number and your postcode. I'm like, no, fuck you.
That is so weird.
It's not weird. It's not illegal either. It's just iffy. I'm like, I don't want you to know that many things about me.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So I disconnect from that Wi-Fi, right?
Right.
I'm like, I'm not gonna use that. I would rather just like check my messages later because this does not matter that much to me.
Mm-hmm.
I look at the order screen, and what appears a few seconds after I do that is my name, two slashes, and some random numbers. So I was like, wait, what the fuck is happening? That can't be me, right? Because it says Dell on it. That sounds incredibly weird. So I double check. I turn my phone's Wi Fi back on. I connect back to it. I go all the way to the phone and I close out of it. It appears again with different numbers this time, but it appears again. I'm like,
So,
there's no fucking way. I try it a third time. It works the third time too.
okay.
So I do some thinking and I'm like, how could this happen? How does this end up happening? How can something be this insecure? My educated guess, right, is whenever I connected my phone to the public Wi-Fi,
Right.
it would pull my username from my phone. Now, that is a
Okay.
problem, and we'll get to why that's a problem. But my guess is it would just like scrape my username off of my phone. And because my name on my phone is Dell, the term Dell specifically in the programming language Python is the keyword you use when you want to delete a variable.
Oh.
So I'm guessing that whatever their order screen is, the script behind it was running in Python. So seeing the name Dell made it shit itself.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
So I got mad at that because what the fuck do you need my phone's username for?
Right.
So the reason why I got mad about that is okay, you live in America, so you guys don't really know about this, but you've heard of GDPR, yes?
No.
It's a European law that got passed back in 2018. It's called the General Data Protection Regulation.
Okay.
The base idea is if a company or like any business is using your data, they need to provide a compelling reason as to why. And
Okay,
if they
that sounds
can't
very
provide
legit. Yeah.
and if they can't provide a compelling reason why, then they're not allowed to use your data. Period.
Okay. Right.
Which is actually a really good piece of legislation, and
I like it.
it follows core cybersecurity fundamentals, specifically the fundamental idea of do whatever it is you need to do
Mm-hmm.
with the fewest permissions possible.
Okay.
So like I'm gonna give so it's best practice if you need someone to go into a system and do something, give them the absolute minimum access they need in order to do that job and nothing more. Because again, if they have more access than that, then they might do some damage or do something stupid, right? So
True.
GDPR follows cybersecurity fundamentals, is a really good piece of law, which now begs the question, what's their compelling reason for scraping the username off my phone?
Right. Did you
Because
fight it?
because to me, because you don't need that for a Wi-Fi connection. You need the device's MAC address, which is a whole other subject, which we're not going to get into because that goes into networking, and networking's complicated, and I'm not qualified to talk about it in depth. But basically, they don't need my name.
Right.
So why are they trying to grab my name off of my phone?
Did you find out?
No, I didn't.
What?
But I never got
You
to
got
because
mad. What'd you get mad for?
because there's no compelling reason for them to do that.
You're
Which
right.
means it's
So that's illegal.
probably a GDPR violation. It's probably illegal. I'm not gonna say definitely because again, I'm not a lawyer. But the plan
Okay.
has been for a while at some point to just go back. Okay, what I did, I checked the version number of like the software that my phone was running at the time.
Okay.
I downloaded a copy of it because it was publicly available from the manufacturer.
What the fuck? All right.
Yeah, people manufacturers just let you do that. It's like, if you break your phone and you just
Tech
want to do
bros are a
like,
different breed.
if you break your, okay, you download a virus on your phone and you break it, right?
You
You
break the
break it
phone.
incredibly bad and it can't recover itself.
So you just
The
download it
easiest way,
again.
You plug it into a computer. Yeah, you get like an official copy of the software from the manufacturer. You reinstall it.
I
It's
That's
repair.
wild to me.
That's
Wild.
I can understand that. I can understand that.
I come from the trees, all
Anyway,
right?
that why you're green? Anyway,
Of
I
course.
download a copy of it. I keep it on my laptop, and now for the longest time, I've not been able to do this yet. But the plan has been to run a virtual phone on my laptop, try to connect that to their Wi-Fi, and before my name goes out, grab it and change it into code and see if I can fuck them up.
Oh, so
just
that's
to
why.
just to prove it, just to prove the point of whether that's actually what's going on.
What the
Now,
heck?
that is very illegal unless I have permission to do it.
But
Which is
your
which is why I know exactly what I'm going to say to get permission to do it. Which is basic, and I'm also not going to do anything destructive. It's like you go up to management, someone in management, and you tell them, "Hey, I am a cybersecurity person. I am concerned about a possible GDPR violation. I would like to investigate."
They're not gonna let you.
They're gonna let you. They have to let you. If you can prove that you are who you say you are, they can't. No, they don't have to, but they're very likely to let you.
Interesting. Okay.
Especially if you're open with them in exactly what you're doing. If you're open and honest, again, doing things professionally versus doing things to be an asshole, right?
For sure.
The difference is openness, honesty, and keeping each other updated.
But I mean, these all fall flat if the manager is like, "You ain't gonna do stuff for my shop."
At which point I do it anyway and face the consequences later.
So you're okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, but
All right.
again, it's like you ask for permissions first, and if you can't let them, then
Have you
obviously
never
ask a lawyer.
heard of ask for forgiveness before asking for
Look,
permission?
if I'm asking for forgiveness, I'm gonna be asking at a court, and I'm not sure I want to end up in one anytime soon.
Digital vigilante? Isn't this guy?
That
Well, you might as well be doing bug bounties. You don't have.
it's basically a bug bounty, kind of, just in person, but
Right.
not really. It's a
Okay.
complicated
Yeah.
subject.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, that's the story of how I accidentally hacked a burger shop in central London.
They let you?
No, it was an accident. The
Oh,
username on my phone.
but you're
That
going
thing I said
to.
earlier.
It's your
Yeah,
plan to one day. Okay. Wait.
yeah,
How?
yeah.
Why not now? Are you?
Because I'm not. Because that's in London.
Oh, okay.
Again, it's a problem with their public Wi-Fi in that shop, right? So I have to be there to actually test it.
You're gonna go back to that one shop in London just to fuck with them?
As you said earlier, spite is a powerful motivator.
Let it be. Let it be.
And
Okay.
from what I can tell, if they're doing that with my phone,
What are
they're
they
probably doing that with the phone of everyone who connects there, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So like, why are you collecting people's names on your public Wi-Fi? You don't need that. You do
Mhm.
not need people's names. To give someone internet, all you need is the address of the device they're using and a connection to that device.
Yeah. It is
Assuming you
sus.
are,
It's
you
so
know, an internet
sus. I
provider.
think
It
I
is.
think this is valid, and I hope that you have something. You could get money from this too, but
Maybe.
holding
But it's
on
just,
to information for like years.
it's what Bacon said though. It's probably for data harvesting. It's probably just for advertisements and shit.
Yeah.
Okay, you know how people have like conspiracy theories about how governments are spying on us and all that
Everywhere,
shit?
all the time. Yeah, Grimsley's really into
It's
that.
yeah, it's not about that. It's like, yeah, it's kind of what's happening, but governments are not the ones that are the best at doing it. It's corporations, specifically advertising corporations, and they don't do it to like be Big Brother and revise history and give you control of everything. They do it to make more money. They do it to sell you shit better.
They do not have your interests in mind.
No, they have theirs.
Yeah. Really quick. So we're reaching an
Yeah.
hour, and this is when I typically take a break, just
Mhm.
because. Would you like to take a break as well, like hit a BRB screen, or would you like to stay and talk
I'm
to
good to
chat?
keep going. Again, I've just been sipping through my water as we go.
Yeah, feel free. But I'm gonna go to the bathroom really quick. So if you'd like, I can leave you
Go
on
ahead.
screen. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Then
I
I will.
promise not to set fire to anything whilst you're still out.
We're in space. It's fine.
The
Okay.
table looks very wooden.
Don't worry about it. It's got some really nice anti-fire properties. Okay, goodbye.
See you in a bit, Vespi. I'm gonna just be talking to chat whilst you're out. So what Doka said, yeah, in the US there's a lawsuit of cell companies selling consumer info. If you've got more info on that, chuck it my way, Doka, if you don't mind, because I'm curious to read about it. Yeah, oh, people got an ad break too. Yeah, true. What was I gonna say? Combine harvester. It's been a while, Outland. It's been a while since that one, hasn't it? But yeah. But yeah, that's one story of how I accidentally hacked the screen on a burger shop. Uh, there was another interesting thing that happened, but I don't remember what that was. You know the thing where like your short-term memory comes in and you remember a thing of like, oh, I want to talk about this, and then something else happens and you forget about it near instantly? Yeah, that. It was in my short-term memory and now it's gone. CTF time? Not right now. um, I don't know. If I remember, I'll bring it up. But what Bacon said of do tech bros outside of the US also have the stereotype of hiking and rock climbing a lot? Not that I know of. Maybe. What are your fun challenge memories from a CTF? Oh, I'm gonna take you back to 2020 with this one, right? I'm gonna go ahead and ask this. And okay. Actually, let's answer those ones Vespi's back because I know she likes to like. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's answer those ones Vespi's back, so we can just do that all as part of the thing. Anyway, we'll get to that later. What else is there to talk about that I haven't mentioned already? Because again, I keep getting things coming up to me as we talk, but nothing specific anymore. It's all dropped out of my short-term memory. um, Let me scroll up through chat a bit, see if I missed anything. Right, public Wi-Fi. That's what I wanted to talk about. Again, I'm gonna wait until Vespi's back though. So yeah, let's just chill for a bit. Let's just wait until Vespi comes back. I'm gonna sip some more water.
Sip, motherfuckers! Woo!
I know I told her not to do a BRB screen, but it's quite alright. And hey, I'm gonna say thank you on behalf of Vespi Migo for the 20 fucking months. Woo. She's gonna say that when she's back anyway, but you know. It's good to catch up with y'all now that we're taking a quick break. Right. And don't worry, I'm keeping notes of the questions that have been asked. So well, there's the redeems, right, that Vespi has access to, but I don't, because I don't see like her stream manager thing. And I don't need to. Again, the thing I said earlier, right? Give people the absolute minimum access they need to get things done. So yeah, any questions like that will be going on hold for now, and we can dive into them later. I'm really happy to be here. Now that she's not here, I don't know if she's listening, but now that she's not here, when Vespi invited me to be here, let me scroll up and see the actual interaction because that's in our DMs. Um, she said, would you like to be part of SmolTalk? I can do these dates. I'm like, I would love that so much. And I'll admit I've been hoping you'd invite me. Because I have. It's like this has been so cool. Just seeing Vespi do this type of podcast thing. And whilst I've wanted to do something similar for a bit, it's obviously I don't want to just like copy Vespi, right? Because that's boring. Not SmolTalk. Copying is boring. Just to be clear, copying even your friends is boring, and imitation is the sincerest form of flattery that mediocrity can achieve. That's the full saying. Um, I do want to do a bit of a different spin on it, but I'm gonna talk about more details on that once I'm actually ready to start making it happen. But yeah, when Vespi invited me to this, I got so fucking excited. Is that why Vespi was asking people to reach out as well for her to reach out to? I think so, because she did say that she's really open about getting friends into SmolTalk, and also about how because it has improved so much ever since she started it, she wants to rerun it with some people. And also, those first few small talks are not even archived anywhere, like as a VOD, you know? But yeah, it's kind of like that. And if you know Vespi, if you're friends with her, if you've not done small talk before, she would probably be very happy if you just ask her. At least from what she said. Now, I don't want to talk on her behalf, so I'm being very careful with what I say. I'm just parroting what she said already, right? And for what it might be worth, as much as I wanted to be part of this, I felt really awkward going out of my way to ask, which is why I was so happy when she invited me. But yeah, that's just kind of how things go sometimes, you know? I need to take more and more frequent breaks from talking because my throat's drying out. I'm seeing the model moving around a bit on the stream, even past delay, which makes me think she might just be coming back in a bit. Oh, there you are. Hi. So
Yeah.
the thing that I wanted to say is, are you okay with friends asking you about being part of SmolTalk?
Me?
Yeah.
Wait. Repeat the question?
Because I know you go out of your way to invite people to SmolTalk, but like
Yeah.
people who are already your friends, would you mind them asking you to be part of this?
Would
That's
you?
just where discussion went. That's
Yeah,
just where
that's fine. That's
discussion
fine.
went.
I'm
It's
having
like,
I'm having trouble understanding. I'm so sorry.
so okay, would you have me here if I asked you to be here instead of you inviting me?
Oh, like would I come on to your show?
No, like for this show, for SmolTalk. If I came up and asked you, hey, could I be in SmolTalk someday? Would you be okay with that?
Oh yeah, of course.
That's what I'm trying to
So
translate. It's like
yeah.
if
Okay.
a
If you
friend
were
of yours
not,
who's not been in SmolTalk
yeah.
before,
Oh
and
yeah.
they ask you to be part of it, you know? Because again,
Okay.
that's what was asked, and I didn't want to speak on your behalf, so I had to
Yeah.
be really careful with my
So
words.
regarding small talk guests, they've just been random. There's
Yeah.
no logic to it. It's just whoever I see at the right time, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'd love to have them on next. So, Dell was on a list that I wrote like 6 months ago, and I'm now done with that list. So any
Hey.
mutuals, I'm down to have. Like just Vespi besties. I guess I don't know.
Vesties, if you will.
People I hang out with often enough or around enough, or people who I
Yeah.
just think are interesting. Like it's truly random with that in mind. If people ask to come on, they might be more likely to be on. I guess it's just, no one's asked. Literally, no one's asked. They're like, hey, can I come on Small Talk? Like I've just kind of done whatever feels with the flow, and I've
Fair.
yeah, I see Dale around all the time. It's really nice. So
Yeah,
I'm
and because of the time zone thing, we don't get to interact as much as I'd
yeah,
like.
we used to. We still need to play over.
We used to.
Yeah, over. Wait, not overcooked. Played up.
Played up. Yeah, played up round 3. Let's fucking go.
I yeah. Wherever you are, Dread, we're thinking of you, Queen.
We are. We love you, Dread.
Yeah, those were really fun days. I missed those, but I know life takes us in all sorts of directions. But
It does.
I actually think your some of the questions I'd like to get to now. One of them I wanted to bring back, but
Sure.
So how this part works, we ask all the questions, and if there's any any straggler questions, we'll answer them at the end. So I will go on ahead and ask our first one, which was from Outland. What would be a good way to get into it? Which it was parkour, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
So I would say it takes work on one's mental state and how you approach some things.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's gonna be a lot of fear. Because if you're doing like precise jumps and moves that you're not done before,
Right?
it can be scary.
I'm pussy.
There's gonna be embarrassment, possibly, because you'll be training in public spaces often.
Falling on your ass.
And if you're not already doing cool stuff, you might feel very self-aware. Even if you are already doing cool stuff, you might feel very self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
And C, the most important thing out of all of this to me, to get back into parkour, you know how as a kid, you'd go to a playground and like jump around and hang off of things and climb onto things and fall and get hurt and laugh and cry and whatever?
No, I avoided that stuff because I hated getting hurt.
Too bad.
Go on.
The most important thing to me to get into parkour was getting back in touch with
Okay, that childlike
that
wonder.
that inner like playfulness and desire
Yeah.
to learn how this body I have moves,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you can get that back into your brain, it can be powerful enough to even completely overshadow like the self-awareness and the possible embarrassment
Oh,
and all that stuff.
absolutely. That's just passion in its
Yeah,
work. Do you?
basically approach it less like a sport or a discipline and more like you're playing
It's an
at
art.
first.
Yeah. Do you have
It can
any
be.
maybe some more specific advice? So you mentioned something I think is a big problem. It's feeling like you're not gonna do anything cool at first, or you're even
Yeah.
gonna be embarrassing at first. Like, what are
Hmm.
how do you handle those emotions? Like, what
I train
pushes
with
you?
friends.
So,
Go out with other people. Look to see if there's local communities.
mm-hmm.
If there's the chance of there being some type of parkour gym in your city is higher than you think.
Is there like
It's not
comfort and
it's not
familiarity?
high. It's not high, but it's higher than you think.
Yeah, yeah.
And having other people around you doing the same thing that you are makes it a lot easier.
But so here's my thing. Like I would get
Hmm.
a little in my head about like, oh, I don't want to be embarrassing in front of my friends. Like they're
Hey,
gonna think
train
I'm
somewhere
lame.
private. Then train somewhere
Solo?
private.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you have a backyard or there's like some place behind a building where you're not, trespassing, that just has a basic obstacle, you can use that to train your first things ever, right? Like the first ever parkour training I did was back in Greece,
Mm-hmm.
in that same village I mentioned, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The one where you almost got
There was this
shot.
church with a big wall outside of it that was like really rough stone and angled.
Oh, okay. You could climb it.
So it was exactly perfect to learn how to run it.
Oh, how fun!
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So at the start I sucked, but it still felt really satisfying to be getting steps onto a wall.
Mm-hmm.
And the encouragement of even a small success or even feeling like a small bit of progress is huge because you get such a rush. Does Dell like Assassin's Creed? Yes. We mentioned earlier that I got into it because of video games and I didn't get to list that many.
Oh
But
yeah.
initially it was Uncharted and later on it was, in no particular order, Dying Light, Assassin's Creed, and Mirror's Edge.
Okay.
That were very, very big inspirations to me.
I've seen
Of
a little
like,
bit
I
of
can go
Assassin's
outside and do
Creed.
this.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I can imagine like seeing the obstacle thing now, like imagining how you would traverse the difficulties
Hmm.
of its shape. Like, yeah, that kind of stuff I can fuck
Yeah.
with. I can get
And it's
that.
kind of, I don't want to get cheesy again, but it's kind of like a metaphor for life in general, isn't it?
You handle
And
life way too epically. Like I'm just crying on the floor, and then you're like, I'm just gonna
oh,
see
me
how
too.
fast I
Don't
can.
worry.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but parkour.
Oh no,
You
that
would call this
happens to me
parkour,
too.
right?
Absolutely. What I'm practiced definitely counts as parkour. Yeah, I'm not really getting
Yeah.
into self expression just yet.
Parkouring is just such a cool way to live life, in my opinion.
Sure, but like if life isn't just like the process of learning how to get over whatever shit was thrown at you this
Yeah,
time,
yeah, yeah. True,
what
true,
is it,
true.
right?
Well, okay, but so this is how I imagine you view things. You see an obstacle, you see something in front of you that's blocking you. Like, I could get by this somehow. But I think a
Even
normal
if I
person
can't,
is more like,
even
I'm
if
not
I
thinking about getting over it. I'm thinking about another. I'm gonna back out and find another way around this.
sometimes you need to that counts.
Yeah,
Sometimes
but
you're
yeah.
sometimes you just can't get past an obstacle with the things you currently know, or maybe it's just not
Hmm.
possible to get to and you have to find a different way.
But if you know
That's
parkour,
normal
you
too.
can just find it. Or you can just fucking monkey climb over it. That's cool.
What I'm trying to say is the the core philosophies of parkour from what I
Right,
found,
right.
which are understand your limits and don't get arrogant with them, and look for ways to overcome obstacles within your current limits.
Hmm.
It turns out that those are just like philosophies you can apply to life in general.
No, for real. I think those are
If you
very
at
valuable
least for like
lessons.
for a healthy mindset. And I
Oh
think
yeah,
it's one of
yeah,
those
yeah,
things that
yeah.
have helped me so much.
Hmm.
Because honestly, if you met me 10 years ago, you would hate me. And you would be completely correct to hate me.
Okay. I'm like trying to do math. You did it in 2017. All right. Yep, checks
Oh,
out.
a bit again, like 3 years before I found parkour, and
Hmm.
whilst I was, still neck deep in my edgelord teen phase, I was not fun to be around.
I think it's very common for a lot of
Yeah.
people to have that kind of history. I think as well
Hmm.
for other
Yeah.
people they get over it on their own. So
They do.
so you said parkour like helped mature you?
It did.
That's so
Because again,
cool.
because of the mindset it put me into,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah.
Of like, this is what I can do, this is what I'm not sure I can do, but I could probably pull it off, right?
And you did?
You gain a good understanding of where your limits are,
Mm-hmm.
and by doing so, you also learn how to figure out where your limits are.
Right. Della type of guy
Yeah, I
seeing
saw
you
that.
and your PC from a burned building. Dude,
I
he's the
would
hero we
if
need.
if the firewalls. Okay.
Shut the fuck up, you
Okay, you know
dumbass.
what? No,
I love
I
you,
respect the
Grizzly.
setup. I respect
That's
the
so
setup. Good shit.
funny.
Good shit. I respect it. But yeah, the answer of how to actually get into parkour
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
start where you left off, from the physical side, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's honestly go to a playground with some friends. I know there's playgrounds that don't allow
Playgrounds
adults.
are easy
Yeah,
parkour places.
there's playgrounds that don't allow adults, so obviously don't go into those. But
What's
like,
stopping them? They can't
yeah,
stop
but like,
all of you.
go into a playground with some friends and just start jumping around like monkeys again.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. I
Find out where your movement last was, and then just start working from there.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't dunk on too many kids. That too. Don't start like punting children around. I understand it's tempting, but don't.
You might hit a Vespi instead. Okay. The next one. What are your fun challenge memories from a CTF?
Right, yeah. What I was gonna say is I'm gonna take us back to 2020 for this one.
Okay, 4 years ago.
Yes, this was actually the second CTF I ever took part in.
Okay, so not the first.
Mm-hmm. No, the first one was September 2019 when I first joined university.
Mm.
Because again, the society I'm now president of at the start of the academic year does
How many
a.
total?
I don't remember, but probably fewer than 10. But
Okay,
the society
that's
I'm
so
in
a
now, we do,
lot.
at the start of each academic year, it does like an introductory CTF for all the
Okay.
newcomers.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the first one I ever played. The second one was a different university's cyber society
Okay.
were doing their own event, and it was a
Oh,
CTF.
I see, I see. So this is not your home
These
turf you did a CTF
No, no,
on.
no. This was with. We're very chill with them. In
Mm-hmm.
fact, I respect them a lot. They are very much into the technical side of cybersecurity. They're incredibly good at what they do.
I see, I
They
see.
are always absolute heroes at CTFs. They do great job. A
Okay,
great job in general.
gotcha. So your
So
fun
there's no
challenge
like.
memories.
It's not even about not being at home turf. It's like, sure, I'm not in my usual place, but I'm with the boys.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, in like a very casual scenario. They had a really great CTF put together, and I specifically remember a challenge that was about this thing called steganography. Now, what is that? Steganography is hiding a thing inside of another thing, roughly. What do I mean? What do I mean? For example, it is possible to hide an image inside the information of another image, if that makes sense.
No, but go
So,
on.
so what? Let me explain. What they had done for this challenge was they had this photo of one of them like celebrating something, and it was this like blurry moving photo, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was text hidden inside of the photo that you had to separate from it, and that text was the flag.
Oh, I see.
And
Okay, okay.
the only reason why this is one of my most treasured memories from a CTF is because they told me the story behind that image, which was completely innocent and completely dumb.
Right.
So basically, they were lost inside a building. Well, they were all, and most of them had found their way out except for this guy. It was
Okay.
like a university campus, I think. And they sent
Okay.
him a message saying, "Find your way out in the next 5 minutes, or your mom gay." And he found his way out in 9.5 minutes.
No, his mom's
So he was like,
gay.
he was just like celebrating dunking on his friends, right?
Wait.
And they just took the photo of him on his way out, and they hid the text on that. And basically, I just like chatted them up about that story, and they told me the story and so on. It was just big fun.
I see. I did I.
I never saw him again,
What
but he
was
was a great
what
guy.
was the time? What was the time limit?
10 minutes. He barely made it.
Oh,
It wasn't like actually 9 and 10 minutes. This was like 4
okay.
years ago. I don't
I
remember the details,
misunderstood.
but he
I
just
thought it was
barely made it.
5. I see.
But like he just barely
Let's
made
go.
it before they called his mom
Yeah.
gay. But yeah, and ever since I've just found steganography really fun too.
Mm-hmm. Is it
CTF can take 48 hours. That's true.
48?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you can have 2-day CTFs. Yeah.
That's crazy.
You open it at like 9 on a Saturday and you close it at 9 in the morning on Monday. People do that.
That's crazy. Okay.
The
just
one we're
constantly?
doing is just
Constantly
yeah,
for 48?
you can go to sleep and stuff.
Of course
Like,
you can, but you
yeah,
you have you.
this was a 2-day CTF. This was over a weekend. We
Where
went
would you
on a
guys
Saturday in
sleep
the morning.
anyway? Sleep with your
Yeah,
PCs?
we went on a Saturday at like 9 in the morning, right? They got us. We had lunch. Lunch was provided,
Okay.
and then we left at like 5 or 6. Went home, got some sleep, came back the next day, continued.
Okay, so you would you would take a
Yeah.
night's rest. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Sleeping is optional.
Sleeping optional. I usually fail that part. Fair.
I see. Well, that's great. That
But
sounds
yeah,
really
it
fun.
was great. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And now being in the position I am, I get to speak with them more often, right? That society.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they were also at Litor last year. They're probably going to be at Litor this year. So I'm looking forward to seeing them all again.
Let's fucking go.
You
What
guys
fun.
know who you are. I respect you massively in the off chance any of them hear this.
They're out there in spirit. They're here in spirit, even if they aren't.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, even though that is the last question, there is one question I wanted to ask you. This is a
Okay.
completely random one, but you set up alarms for yourself, yes? Do you set up multiple or just one?
Oh, multiple. However,
yeah, what are the increments? Why? What's the logic?
specifically 10 minutes.
What the fuck? Okay.
Because I have trial and errored it.
Right.
5 minutes was too often, and I ended up just being in a half asleep state, just turning the alarm off without even realizing.
Mm-hmm.
And 15 minutes was not often enough. I would like properly fall back asleep in 15 minutes. But 10 minutes, for some reason, is just the sweet spot for me, where with enough of them, I eventually decide, okay, it's time to get up.
That's amazing. Okay, he sized
Trial
it
and error.
out. Let's go. Okay.
I fucked around and I found out, also known as, the scientific method.
how have you? What's your alarm?
I think it's my phone's default.
You just use a default one?
It used to be.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
used to be. Okay, it used to be a track that was used in a Storer video.
Oh, okay, okay.
To
Wait.
cycle back to that. But
Wow,
I've
it
changed,
comes
like,
full circle.
Yeah, but that was a very long time ago, and I've changed 1 or 2 phones since, and I never bothered to set it again.
Yeah,
but I
it
do
just
still have
becomes
it
a
on this phone.
hassle. Mm-hmm.
I do still have it on this phone.
How fun.
So maybe I should set it.
This is the small talk staple. All right. If
Yeah.
if the planets and stars and moon all aligned and life was perfect and you had your dream job and your dream whatever you need to be happy, what would your everyday look like?
Ooh.
Like from the hour to when you would wake up, what you'd eat every day.
That is difficult to think about because there's a handful of different things I would be really happy doing long term, right?
Sure, let's just one of them then.
But then, which becomes the question of which one. But
What about the one
It
where
would
you VTubing is successful? If that's something in your interest.
okay. Yeah. Okay. So assuming I could actually stream full time as a job, right?
Yes.
Well, obviously I'd be doing that. But beyond that, my schedule wouldn't be too different from what it is today, I think.
How long would you stream?
Because however long I could handle.
Really? You would
Yeah.
leave that up? Okay, that's crazy. I see.
Because I have done I think the longest stream I've done before was like 10 hours, right?
Okay, so you just naturally stream
Which
long.
was-
That's fine.
Which was my birthday stream this year.
I see. Okay.
And then the two or three other longest streams I've done was anniversary last summer, where we spent like, again, maybe even 12 hours. I don't know. It was a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 2 times before that were the Daymar rally this year and last year. Have I mentioned the Daymar rally? I think I've
I
mentioned it to you before.
I don't know what that does not register in my head.
So there's this game called Star Citizen that's been in
Okay.
development for ages and will probably be in development forever,
That's sad.
which I play. It's gotten some reasonable criticism for being, a few things.
Mhm.
But a thing that this game's community does is every single year. So Star Citizen is, as the name implies, like a very futuristic open space game, right? The sun will go out before it comes out, possibly. Well, you say that, but you could play it now. It's not done, but it's out. You can play it
I feel
anyway.
like there's a
I'm
lot of
not.
games like that. Sorry, go on.
I'm not here to discuss the semantics of whether Star Citizen is quote unquote out or not, because by the traditional release standpoint, it will never be. It's a game that will always be in development because there will always be something they want to add.
Okay.
Anyway, there is a little moon in one of the game's planets called Daymar.
Daima.
Daymar is a desert moon. Daymar. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Daymar is a desert moon. It's entirely just like desert and rocks and so on. It has a little bit of a lowish gravity to it. So
Mhm.
what the games community does, this organization called Atmo Esports, they run a lot of events throughout the game. They run like a Mad Max demo derby. They run an actual like professional looking series of races. But their biggest event, in terms of like how many people watch it, is the Daymar Rally.
Okay.
It is a 510-kilometer endurance desert rally across Daymar.
In Star Citizen the game. Okay.
Yeah, in the game.
Okay.
So this year was kind of a shit post because more than half the servers just went down eventually.
Aw.
But last year, there's been a few things that happened, which are a lot of time to discuss, and I did that whilst it was happening. But
Mhm.
last year's Daymar Rally, at least for us, for my team, the team I'm in, was incredibly fun.
Let's
It was a
go.
very it was a very eventful race. Um, okay, first year we went into the Daymar Rally. Our last vehicle shit the bed 20 kilometers from the finish line.
Mhm.
We got off on foot and sprinted until like 10 kilometers from the finish line, which we're allowed to do. The rulebook explicitly states you're allowed to finish the rally on foot. And the last member of the team died to fall damage 9.9k from the finish.
What?
We were the closest DNF that year. Uh, 2022, sorry,
Okay.
2023, last year,
Okay, last year.
what happened is the team that was first place in our server,
Okay.
their last vehicle shit the bed 20k from the finish line.
No, that's so
Exactly what happened to us.
sad.
So we heard about that and we had like a quick internal discussion in the team of should we help them out? So we agree that we should because that's exactly what happened to us.
Let's fucking
So
go.
I was driving at the time. I was the one driving at the time. So I was like out
Mhm.
in a vehicle on the desert dunes actually going for it.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the team was on the support ship. You get a support ship with all the
Okay.
vehicles inside and stuff. So they
Mhm.
fly off to first place, tell them, "Hey, we're coming to drop you a ride so you can finish the race." And I'm left alone for a bit. On the way back, after doing that, our support pilot gets distracted and crashes the ship, killing
No.
everyone inside and destroying all the vehicles.
That's so sad.
Which basically left me on my own to finish the rally, or at least to get as close to the finishing the rally as I could.
All right.
75 kilometers from the finish, the buggy dies. So we mentioned that, yeah, our buggies died. And a different team that was finishing at the time, and I'm going to name them because I'm eternally grateful to them, Frontier Consolidated Racing. Specifically the orange team, because they had like one team in each division of the rally. They do bikes, buggies, and trucks. So
Mm.
the buggy team said, "Oh, we're just finishing up. We will spawn a fresh bug in, come drop it for you as well." So as I'm sprinting because I was still going, I see a ship come around me, land, open the back door, and just let me take a buggy.
Let's go.
I
Okay.
hop in and I take that for the last 75 kilometers of the rally and to the finish line.
What a bunch of up and
For
downs. Holy shit.
it was an emotional roller coaster,
No
and that's not even all
kidding.
the shit what happened. There was some guy, because okay, pirates and griefers are an issue with this race, right?
Aw.
And we have a security organization that like joins servers with us and tries to help.
Yeah.
But there was this one guy that year that came in with a bomber and just made an absolute massacre. Guy
Mm-hmm.
on his own took out 7 or 8 teams on his own, just with his bomber. and there were 2 or 3
Jesus.
incidents where he was chasing us, and he didn't manage to get us. However,
Pog.
I do remember him dropping bombs close enough behind me for me to see like the flames reflecting off the back of the car.
This game sounds super hyper realistic to be able to see such detail.
It's really complicated, which is also why it's taking so long to make.
But it's been like this for years, so I
Yeah.
feel like if you've had enjoyment from it, it's fine.
Yeah,
This is
I think I've got my
crazy.
money's worth.
Let's
I think
fucking
I've got my
go.
money's worth out of it. However, again, when people ask me if they should get into it, I tell them to take a long, hard look at what the game can offer you now. And if you think that what it has now is worth your like 45 or more bucks,
Mm-hmm.
then go for it. Otherwise, don't.
Okay.
Because again, it's one of those games that will be in development. So don't buy things that might exist in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Only buy things that exist now.
Oh,
But
yeah.
anyway,
Yeah. Okay.
to wrap up the tangent and actually answer your question, assuming I'm VTubing full time, I get wrapped up in tangents a lot. Yeah. Assuming that I had the quote unquote dream job of VTubing full time, my daily would probably be like my current daily of waking up 30 minutes before stream. I
You
don't always do that. But when I'm tired, I like to prioritize my sleep.
sure.
Hopefully, I would have the support of like maybe a manager or something a bit more professional.
Mm-hmm.
Because we did do like a 3-month trial run with my buddy Panta. You might have met him, Pantari. You've probably met him.
Yeah.
He's part of the
We were all beer pals.
yeah. I did a 3-month trial with him being my manager, and he did help a lot in terms of like guidance and things like that.
Mm.
I would like to have that sort of thing if I went full time, but I think that for now I can handle myself.
Okay.
So hopefully something like that to get things like thumbnails and communications done for me. But beyond that, I don't think my day to day would change much. My
Really?
space would. I
Yeah.
want to like. Okay. Mostly, I'm thinking of setup upgrades.
Of course. What would be
So-
your dream then?
I've got 2 desks right now in my room that are completely different from each other, and one of them
I'm
is
jealous.
distinctly more shit, but is also the big one. So that's the desk I'm sitting on right now, which if I tap on it, will go straight through the desk and into the microphone.
Oh.
I think you heard that.
Yeah, I heard it.
So I would like to get a better desk that isn't built like shit.
Okay.
And I'm thinking I could probably do like an L-shaped thing again.
I love those. Those feel
you
so like
remember-
so much space. Ugh.
Yeah. Do you remember when Nomi did her like space review thing?
Oh, her desk review. Yeah.
Yeah. I did one as well. I can
Uh-huh.
grab that image for you.
I think I remember seeing your desk. It looked really cool.
Yeah, but I want to replace those 2 individual desks with one big one.
Mm-hmm.
And what I really want to do is currently my desk has underglow. Right?
Oh, how cool.
There's an
Purple.
LED strip that
I
yes,
remember.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, that goes like under and around the 2 desks. What I want to do is I want to put that on the front, on like the front facing bit of the desk, and just put like a plastic diffuser in front of it.
Is that also your bedroom? Does that not like
Yes, it's right off the edge of my image. My bed is like right behind me right now.
does that help you sleep, or does that, I don't know, I feel like that those kinds of things distract me.
I don't know.
Ah.
I really don't
okay.
know because I haven't had like an A to B to compare with,
No, yeah.
But the only downside of being in a room that's like this packed is that I don't have that much space to be in VR.
Oh, that's true. You need a pretty open
But-
space.
You don't need a very open space. Like the space I have right now, which is like 1.5 meters by
Mhm.
2 to 3 meters, is enough for most things. But I have very much like smacked monitors and walls before whilst playing Beat Saber.
That can ruin things.
It
Anxiety.
hurts. It
Yeah.
hurts. I mean, my second monitor currently has like a black stripe in the side of it running from the top to the bottom. And that's not because of me hitting it.
Why won't I feel like you'd
It's
be
a
the
lot-
type of guy to have spare monitors.
I don't because I don't have space to store something as big as a monitor.
Okay. I see. What
I mean,
the
if it were
heck?
up to me, if it
Where'd
were
you get that black?
Both,
Yeah.
so both of my monitors have battle scars. We'll get to that. So my second monitor, the reason it has like that vertical line of dead pixels, right?
Okay. Yes.
My university does open days. So like a day where they just let everyone come in and we do like presentations of all the degrees we do and shit like that.
Interesting. Yes.
And because I'm in computing, I thought I'm going to try hard and I'm going to go a bit too far. So what I did was I packed up my entire desktop computer and like my
Uh-huh.
keyboard and a bunch of other things. I took it all with me to the university alongside my second monitor, which I put in my backpack, and I held the backpack shut and like tight with a belt because the zips would otherwise open and the monitor would fall out
Ooh.
because it was poking out the top. It's like 24 inches. It doesn't
I
fit
can
into
see
most
this.
backpacks.
Yep. All right.
And I brought basically like most of my setup to university, and I would set up my desktop there and have it just running a benchmark on loop just to have some cool graphics going on.
Yeah.
So that has taken its toll on my parts. So
Poor
what
monitor.
the monitor has the black stripe exactly where like the belt would tighten around it to hold it safe.
Bruh. I see. I see.
So that's my fault. And then there was a period of time where my desktop would not boot and would throw me a RAM error
Mm-hmm.
because of how much the parts had been shaken up in transport from here to the university and back. I did that
That's
like 2 or 3 times.
crazy. Grimsley. I don't know if Grimsley's listening, but Grimsley, you know what this means.
Uh, yeah,
I
no,
see.
don't.
No,
It's
no,
not
no.
fun.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, and then my main monitor has a bit of a battle scar, which is also my fault.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, hear me out. I've lived with 2 people in this flat, right?
Right.
My most recent friend moved out because she got a PhD offer and she wanted to like her own space to completely dedicate to it. Completely reasonable. Um, the guy I lived with before that was a friend of mine who lived with me at the university dorms when I first moved in here.
Okay.
And we were really chill with each other. So I thought, hey, you want to get an apartment together? Sure, let's. So we were just
That's
roommates for a while.
cool. Yeah.
At some point, he went to France at exactly whilst my birthday was going to happen. So when he
Aw.
came back, he brought me this really cool knife as a birthday present.
Oh shit, that's
Like
sick.
it's really, really cool. It has like a map engraved on one side
That's
on the
so
handle.
cool. That's so
It's so
nerdy.
sick. It's honestly the only reason it's still here is because I open packages with it. Right?
Oh, okay, okay. But wait,
I
is
just
it a
use it to
cooking
open
knife or
packages.
is it just like
No, no,
a?
no. It's just like a utility knife, and I just
Oh,
use it to
I
open
see.
packages.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So I had that in hand because I was just opening and closing it just to have something to fiddle with,
Mhm.
and then I was like, oh, I need to check the time, so I pull up my hand to check the time on my watch,
Mhm.
and the knife was in my hand and open at the time, and it kind of sort of scraped a bit of my main monitor.
Fuck! Oh my
It's not
god,
much.
Dell.
It's not much, but there's like a tiny bit where the polarizing filter has come off and it just appears white. It's a tiny little nick.
Mhm.
Most of the time, I don't see it
Okay,
because it's like
okay.
it's pretty low, but I do see it enough to be aware of it.
For the monitor with the dead pixel screen, like how big
Yep.
is the strip?
All the way from the top to the bottom.
Oh shit! And like, is it
It's very
distracting?
thin,
Oh, it's very
a
thin.
little. It's like 2 to 3
Yeah.
pixels wide maybe,
Uh huh.
but I've done a little funny because I put OBS on that monitor.
Mhm.
I've lined it up to be exactly where that
No
black line is.
way! That's so good. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. If you can't beat him, join him. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So at some point, these are gonna get replaced. I want to get like either 2 or 3 of the same monitor and do like a bigger setup like that.
Okay, okay.
But that means I'm gonna have to find a new home for these two, or like a new
Yeah.
use at least, because I don't like throwing tech away.
I mean, that makes sense. I feel like tech is also difficult to yeah.
It can be recycled, but it's very difficult because there's like all different types of rare metals on all the tech we use.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like your graphics card currently has at least copper, aluminium, silicon, probably some gold, for for electrical contacts.
My silly little brain cannot remember how well these items decompose, but I'd assume
They
that
don't. They are metal.
they are metal. Okay.
But how tech gets recycled is basically, at least for a circuit board, it goes through a series of very specific chemical mixes
Mm.
that you pass electricity through, and those react with the metals on the circuit board and pull them out.
Okay. Those could be reused or
Yeah, they can be reused.
how
It's possible
neat.
to recycle most of the stuff on circuit boards and stuff. Most
Okay,
of it.
circuit
You do
boards.
have to find a dedicated tech recycler,
Mm-hmm.
But if you find them, you're good.
Fuck. Okay.
In Greece, actually, a lot of supermarkets just have bins where you can leave your old devices and they'll recycle them for you.
Yeah. Also, hold on. I think we strayed
Yeah.
far enough. I like to bring back, like, in terms of your day to day being perfect. Are you eating
Right.
exactly what you want to eat? Are you sleeping exactly when
Oh,
you want to sleep?
ideally, yes. That being said, I really do like sleeping. So realistically, if I'm doing something full time, I'm not gonna get to sleep as much as I would like to. But I
What?
still get to sleep like a healthy amount that is enough for me to function.
Dell, no, your standards. You need to be able to say, yes, I'm gonna get enough sleep. You can't just
No,
accept. What?
I get enough sleep. I get enough sleep. I get like
Okay.
6 to 8 hours most nights. It's just I like sleeping more than that.
Oh, okay.
It's not like the strictest of necessities, but I do
Mm.
like it. Like I slept in today.
All
I
right,
was
all
in
right.
bed until like 3 hours before this stream, and the only reason I got up is because again the friend I mentioned messaged me like, "Hey, I'm in town. You want to head out?" Bet.
Bet, bet. I'm glad. I'm glad. So, what would you eat?
I really like cooking, so
So you just could
whatever
make
I've made
time.
that day.
Oh,
Yeah,
how? Okay, okay.
the I have udon that I've been planning to make for the longest time. I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, honestly, yeah, anything.
Would every day
I
look the same? Would you do
No,
different? Yeah. What would your week look
because
like
again,
then?
especially in terms of streaming, I want to do a bunch of different things, right?
Yeah.
Sure, I'm really enjoying doing variety games,
Mm-hmm.
but I had an absolute blast when I did that cybersecurity talk a while ago.
Yeah.
So I want to like do talks discussing tech topics.
We're getting
Um,
educational. Fuck yeah.
yeah, I wanna what I mentioned whilst you were out. I also want to have like a discussion podcast type thing, but obviously not in the same format that SmolTalk is because copying others is boring.
It's also flattering, and that's also like, nah.
No,
People do
see,
things
I
their own
said that
different
whilst
way.
you were out too. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery is not a complete saying.
Oh yeah, there's a last part that makes it.
The last part is that mediocrity can achieve.
Mm-hmm.
So the full saying is imitation is the sincerest form of flattery that mediocrity can achieve.
Yeah, yeah. But
So as in copying someone in order to flatter them is the best you can do if you're mid.
yeah, and I think that's always a good place to start.
It's a good place to start, but I don't just
If you,
want to stay
yeah, yeah.
there.
If you want to be
Because
great, if
again,
you want to stand out, you have to do something different, of
exactly.
course.
And if I just do like small talk but purple, it's not gonna live it's not gonna live up to the original. It's not gonna live up to
But
this.
if purple means your own special Dell way, yeah, I don't
Which is
know.
exactly why it's not just gonna be like a completely unscripted small talk thing. Fuck it, I'm gonna say it.
Yeehaw!
I'm probably gonna do some type of like either tech fundamentals or like cybersecurity fundamentals checkup with people.
Oh God, yeah,
So
that
like,
sounds
yeah,
very nice.
Vespi,
No,
I have a question for you. For example, how
I'm
many
nervous.
in how many places do you use the same password?
Oh gosh,
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought I'd hear, and I'm guilty of it too. There are some places where I use the same passwords where I really shouldn't, but that's not difficult to fix, is what I'm trying to say. A
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
people are
I,
unwilling to fix up their cyber fundamentals because they think it's a hassle,
mm-hmm.
but it's a minor hassle, yes, but you only need to go through it once, and it makes everything so much better.
What do you do, just for reference?
Okay, so the easiest thing you can do for most people is to just get them to use a free password manager.
Fuck. Okay.
A free one, not a paid one. Have I Been Pwned is a great... Yeah, Have I Been Pwned is more so for proving a point, but yes, we'll get to that too. Because password managers can make passwords for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
That way, you can still use that one password that you remember, but you only have it in one place. And then everything else, you just have a big, long, weird, secure password that you can just copy paste.
But what if you're not what if you don't
What I do then,
Okay.
because I don't use a password manager, even though I should. Well, I do, but for like only for the most important things, like my banking and stuff. Those I have all on a password manager because yeah.
Yeah.
But for lower risk things, a really, really good way to do it, right? 4 random words.
But the thing
That's
is,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. How do you
So
remember? How are you supposed to remember it all?
you make it a funny phrase or one that makes sense. For example, an excellent password, right?
Uh-huh.
Consume pizza, become happy.
Consume pizza, become happy.
Don't use that now that I said it, and I don't use it anywhere. But like
But that's
the
three
idea is,
words. Sorry, go on.
no, it's four. Consume pizza, become happy.
Oh, pizza's a word. Sorry, forgot.
Pizza is in fact a word, Bestie.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
So as then what you do, right, to actually make it complicated, you make the first letter in each word a capital,
Uh-huh.
and you just stick a number at the end.
Okay.
Consume pizza,
Man,
become happy four.
if I would, if we weren't online,
I
I
know
would love to
that might
discuss my password management with you.
that sounds like mental effort. I know,
It does. It does
but
sound like mental effort.
I'm gonna go ahead and open up a password strength checker.
Okay.
There's one that I really like. Yeah, this one. And I'm gonna type in one of my passwords,
Dude,
for
I love the
example.
sound of your keyboard. It sounds so
Thank you.
cool.
It was fun building it. Time to crack this password 2 years. Okay. I'm not gonna say what it is, obviously, right? But if I type in consume okay. Consume pizza, become happy, and the number 3. Time to crack your password 47 centuries.
What? Why?
If I stick in an exclamation mark at the end, 2000 years.
Why does it take that long?
Because okay, so you know how the alphabet is 20 however many
Oh,
letters it is in
trying
each
to
language, right?
combine all the different.
So if you just use uppercase and lowercase letters, that's 2 alphabets already.
Mm-hmm.
If you stick a number at the end, that's also all the digits from 0 to 9.
Yeah, you're just
And if
multiplying all the different
exactly,
combinations. It's
it's not just
exponentially.
multiplication; it
Yeah.
scales exactly. It scales to the power.
Mm-hmm.
And if you stick any special character at the end, such as an
Mm-hmm.
exclamation mark, that is also a not. So basically, you want a password to just be more than 2 sets of characters. So uppercase,
Yeah.
lowercase number is already really good.
Okay, my
What we
passwords
go,
are hella nice.
yeah, fair enough. And again, for passwords, usually length is more effective than complexity
Okay, got it.
because each extra digit you add
Is the more.
is,
Let's fucking
you know how, okay,
go.
if I'm just using lowercase alphabets, right?
Got it. It sounds easy enough. You just make a long and a bunch of different fucking
24, yeah,
characters.
24 letters, I think is the English one. I
Speaking
don't remember.
Leet will be very nice for
26,
you. Use
whatever.
Leet
My point is,
passwords.
if you just use lowercase letters, if you add
Mhm.
one more letter at the end, that is 24 times more possible passwords than having one letter less, right?
Let's go. Yeah.
If you're using 2 sets of characters, uppercase and lowercase, that's 24 squared. So you just multiply it by the amount of characters in that set, and each character is that much more. Use
Yeah.
a non-English alphabet. That is a big hassle for some people.
Oh my god.
But yeah, that is just to like randomly get it, right?
Okay.
But if someone
The different alphabets.
there's like common lists, there's lists of very commonly used passwords that you want to be away from.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be surprised by how many people set their password to just like
Password
admin
123.
12345.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, password 123. It is so bad. It is abysmal.
Yeah.
So
So
don't do that.
gotcha. Thank you
But
very much.
yeah,
We have
4 words, a letter, and a symbol.
we have
Basically unhackable. Yeah. We have
sorry, we have one last question, and it's reaching the
okay.
2 hour mark. So, we are going to be looking to wrap
I
up soon.
I have time if you do.
Yeah. Well, I just for the sake of podcast, usually I try to aim for 2
Fair.
hours. So,
Fair.
yeah. So the last question, which is asked by Alan. Thank you for so many questions today, Alan. Do you have any thoughts on the cybersecurity interview challenges?
Too complicated.
Too complicated? What does that mean?
Way too complicated. There's a really nice, well, it's been put to words far better than I can put it to words, but a lot of interviews on the tech space in general nowadays are really, really technical for jobs that don't need that. So
Okay, they're overshooting.
I can't really explain this without explaining, technical terminology.
Okay.
Things like big O notation and things like that, which is not a difficult concept to grasp. It just takes time to explain, which we don't have. But all I'm saying is, if this level of Okay, let's say you're applying to be a delivery driver somewhere, right? For a
Okay,
company.
gotcha.
You apply to be a delivery driver for a company that just delivers things.
Okay,
And instead of asking, do you have a full driving license? Do you have a record of any accidents? Can you do like this basic driving course for us, I guess? They
okay.
put you on a racetrack and they tell you, do this lap time or faster. And that lap time was set by like someone who's currently driving for a GT3 car.
That sounds a little insane, but okay.
Yeah, that's kind of where it is in tech interviews
I
nowadays.
see. Okay.
Yeah, safe cracking game to test reflexes. That's fucking stupid. It's like
Hmm.
that is a thing. There are some
So,
like how
mhm,
the games in arcades are rigged, right?
right.
Even the ones that look skill based. Some tech interviews are now incorporating games like that to test people's reflexes. What do you need my reflexes for? I'm doing spreadsheets.
What do you think? What do you think would be appropriate level challenges then?
um, Something a bit less complicated, something that's actually relevant to the position you'll be taking. So let me sip water
Okay.
real quick. Sorry.
Yeah, no, take your time.
If you're going into a position where you're actually, let's say, incident response,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you're working in the emergency response department for a company's cybersecurity, then yeah, bombard me with technical questions and bombard me with reflex tests because then I actually need to be someone who can work quickly, efficiently under pressure in a very highly technical environment.
Makes sense.
But if most of my job is, let's say, not menial, but like if most of my job is not that technically demanding, things like maybe writing the occasional small script to automate something, but like more so clicking around things, doing spreadsheets and digging through.
Mm-mm-mm.
I'm trying not to go through too much information, but digging through like workspaces and seeing what you need to delete and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
That is fine. You can train someone to do that, and they don't need to know 6 programming languages to do it either. They don't need to know one programming
I
language to do
see.
that.
Okay. That's crazy that the prior is the expectation.
Yeah. So basically, it's not that the interviews themselves are bad per se. It's
Mm-hmm.
just that interviews that would be appropriate for very demanding positions are being given to people applying for far less demanding positions.
What the heck? Okay.
At least in cybersecurity, that's pretty bad.
If that's the
In
norm, then
I've
how?
had a I've had programming interviews that weren't that bad. They gave me more like a couple of simple exercises, and I ask, what language is this in? C sharp. Oh, okay, cool. And then I solve the thing in that language, and they like me. It's far more reasonable.
Yeah.
You won't believe it. I did that interview in C sharp. I got hired. You want to guess what language they actually use it in that team?
Not
C
C sharp.
sharp. It
Oh,
was C sharp.
so that's
Could you
great.
imagine?
They were trading you for what your job was. Let's
Yeah,
go.
it's sadly that's the exception rather than the rule.
I see.
But
I didn't
yeah,
know it was
interviews
that
are a bit too
sad.
fucky wucky nowadays, especially on the cybersecurity side.
Is it at least on the upswing of looking to be better? Like, is there enough
I
people
don't know.
being like, "Aw, that's so sad"?
I don't have enough like long term knowledge to tell you,
Oh, that's fine. I'm
but
sure
yeah,
this is the start of many years. But
maybe
oh, really? What? Are you
we'll
not?
see.
Is this not where your heart is?
If I end up VTubing full time.
Oh, you're gonna what? You would drop cybersecurity?
I mean, cybersecurity isn't even my main focus.
Yeah, but it makes a
My
lot of
degree is
money though,
actually
doesn't it?
just yeah, but is that the most important thing for me? No, not really. My degree is more general.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bachelor's of engineering in computing in
Okay,
general.
okay.
It's not
You
just
could do
specifically
just
cyber.
about yeah. You could
I
touch
can do
anything.
pretty much anything. My
Yeah.
passion is computer hardware. I'm
Okay,
far
okay.
better with hardware than I am with like. Okay, I say I'm better. That's not true. There's a lot of things I need to learn, but I am more comfortable working with hardware than I am with software, even
Okay.
though I can think the way I need to think to write code, if that makes sense.
I see. Okay, okay.
Hardware just makes me happier. So I would sooner see myself working for like a company professionally building computers than for a cybersecurity firm.
Oh, that does sound fun. I see this content creator a lot where his job is to clean PCs or figure out what's wrong with people's PCs and stuff. Like that stuff sounds like it'd be up your
There's a
alley.
couple of them. Which one are you watching?
I don't know. I specifically I
Fair.
think of this guy. He's talking about this person's gaming consoles and he finds roaches in them and he zooms in on that shit. It's like, the fuck.
Damn.
So,
Yeah, there's two of them that I'm aware of. It's Greg Salazar, who does this series called Fix a Flop.
hmm
And then there's this other guy whose name I don't remember, but his tagline is how he's the greatest technician that's ever lived. So
I
that kind
don't
of sticks, you
recognize
know?
that. So,
That's good
those
branding. That
I
sticks.
I I'm gonna go look them up. Can you tell me that last one?
Sure, one sec. The greatest technician.
Oh, is that his? Oh, that's his tag. Okay, okay.
No, that's just what I'm gonna look him up as.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Salem Techsperts. I'm gonna chuck you a link to his YouTube channel.
Oh, thank you. Gotcha, gotcha. Apparently, this guy gets on Outland's nerves.
He gets it. Yeah, I can understand that because it's kind of like chair. Thank you. It depends on how you present yourself, right?
hmm
If your vibe can come off to even a little arrogant, sometimes that can be irritating. What I'm gonna say actually, that have you heard of Pirate Software?
Limeware stuff.
So this is a man that used to work at Blizzard,
Uh huh.
who has incredibly, who's incredibly knowledgeable, who has massive experience in like things like, especially cybersecurity,
Mm,
but a lot of like the sub schools of programming in general.
okay.
Originally, yeah, his first name's Thor. I don't remember the rest of his name though.
Oh shit.
When I first stumbled into him, I didn't like him because I don't know, it's just his tone and his general attitude I thought came off as arrogant until I realized, wait, no, that's just how he talks.
Oh,
And it's like,
resting bitch voice. I get that.
exactly. And I was just like completely misunderstanding him because
Mm-hmm.
of that. And as his like content reached me more and more, and I looked into it, I realized this guy actually knows way too much.
Mm-hmm. He has
In the
ferrets.
He does have ferrets. This guy knows a lot, a lot. He knows a lot of things about a lot of things. So
Those
now I'm
people are
just
so cool. Yeah.
yeah, he's super cool.
Gotcha.
And yeah, again, just a bad first impression because I misunderstood his tone.
Ah. Yeah,
Something
yeah.
that simple, right? If your tone is even vaguely misunderstandable, it can turn people off, even if you know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. First impressions are so hard to get.
First impressions are,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
exactly.
But they can be overcome. So,
hmm
woo! So we have hit the 2 hour
We've
mark now.
we've just
So,
zipped past it, yeah.
yes, sir. I'm gonna. Would you like to do any self promos, things you'd like to bring up, anything you'd like to leave with us today?
I am BRC_Dell pretty much everywhere.
Let's go.
So even in
Jealous.
places that I don't advertise, you'll probably still find me with that same username.
Reddit. Let's find his Reddit
Yes,
together, guys.
it's the same one. It's BRC_Dell. If you look me up
Let's
on Tumblr, I'm there too.
go.
I just don't tell anyone.
Having
I
a
made that
Tumblr
back in
shows
high
your
school. It still
age.
exists.
Woo.
Yeah, I do in fact have a blog there. It's nothing special. But yeah, I'm
Okay.
BRC_Dell pretty much everywhere. If not, try without the underscore, you'll find me.
Sounds good. Eh,
Again, as I mentioned earlier, I'm trying to do more things besides just playing all sorts of games. But that's all I really have, you know?
yeah. Is there anything, any special stream you'll be doing soon, or maybe?
Soon, no.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I always have things cooking, you know?
Yeah.
I always
What's your
have
stream
projects that I
schedule?
want to get into. My stream schedule is different every week.
Okay, understandable. I
Yeah,
totally get
I
that.
post it weekly. I post it weekly on my Twitter and in my Discord in the Runner's Hideout. Again, you'll find links to all of that. If you just look up BRC_Dell, you'll find links to basically everything I do.
Yes, sir. Alrighty.
Uh, the entirety of April, I didn't post any schedules because, again, I'd gone full guerrilla. But now I've gotten back into it because now I work hybrid
That's
instead of
so
just in the office all the
cool.
time.
Okay,
I
yeah,
work
yeah.
remotely 3 days a week. So, yeah, I post my schedule weekly. My usual stream times
Mm-hmm.
are either midday or 7 in the evening UK time.
Okay, okay.
So currently, if you want to compare that to UTC or GMT, it's 11 and 18:00, so 6 p.m. in UTC.
Gotcha. Wait, I'm trying to think.
Usually, weekdays are usually in the evening. Weekends are usually at noon.
For us Americans, UTC is usually 6 to
5 to 8 hours ahead. Yeah, I
yeah,
think
or
East
behind,
Coast is like
behind.
behind. Yeah, I think East Coast is 5 hours behind me, and
Mm-hmm.
West Coast is like 8.
Yep. For me,
7
it
or
is
8.
5, I think. But yeah.
Mm.
Alrighty then.
So
Thank
yeah,
you.
that's why I do 2 slots, right? So there's options for people. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really,
Honestly, because again, like I said, I was so excited when you invited me because
and
I've seen you doing this and I'm like, oh, this is so cool.
yeah, thank you so much for coming on. You taught me so much. There's so much I need
I'm
to
glad.
process today, especially when
You
it comes
mentioned this at the
to
start, so
security.
I'm gonna mention this at the end.
Uh-huh.
The thing that made me and Vespi friends, right?
Oh yeah. The tweet. The tweet
I
I said.
no, not even. Yeah, you did mention it in the tweet. A while ago. How long ago was that now? It's been a hot minute.
My PC
We
was
were
born
hanging
in
out.
June.
We were
2
hanging out at the
years?
Scenaria, probably 2 years ago, I think. We were
Yeah.
hanging out at the Scenaria, and Vespi was building her computer at the time. And I realized, and I offered tech support, right? And she ended up putting in one of her RAM sticks upside down, and it went in all the way, and it clicked. I don't know how, because they don't go in the wrong way. They only go in the correct way. So I don't know how she managed, but she booted up her computer, and I asked her, open up Task Manager, to make sure everything's there. Half the RAM wasn't there. We turn it off, and I tell her to take a look, and I see that one of the RAM sticks is upside down.
It clicked! He said to wait for the click, and the click
Yeah, I don't
turned!
know how you got it to click, but you did. You
It works
flipped it,
just
you plugged it
fine.
in, I remembered, and it appeared and it works fine. I don't know how you managed to not kill it,
Woody.
but you did. Upside down? Yeah, Woody, I don't know how.
It was. I don't know how it didn't even come out damaged. It was
Yeah,
usable.
you saved it.
It's been reliable all these years. So
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
there would be no streams without Dell's assistance, guys. Honestly, that's how I. It's truly. I'm so lucky and honored.
I'm just happy I could help. And I'm glad we ended up being friends out of it.
For real, yeah. We would hang out in the karaoke's, and I would hear this cool guy start singing some tunes.
Fuck, I'm sorry. Shit, hold on.
No, you're fine. So we go. Oh my god, 2 years.
I bopped my mic.
2 years, and then
2 years
many years. Once I hit up Europe and do my little Europe tour, I hope to.
Yes.
You'll definitely be one of the people I'll be hitting up. But
I would love that. Yeah,
please,
if you ever end up around these parts.
And same here. If you find yourself in good old countryside of the United States, I don't know why you would, but fuck it. I'd love to show you our tractors.
I've had more than enough of that in my life.
Oh my god, you talk like my grandpappy. Okay. I'm sorry.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, thank you again. So I'm gonna kick you off if you got nothing else to say, partner.
Everyone's being really nice in the chat, so thank you guys for actually just coming in to see us, to talk with us. Woo! Thank you again, Vespi, for having me.
Thank you for your time and for hanging out, and I know 2 hours, like after, it doesn't feel like
it's
a lot.
It's usually shorter than what I normally do.
Yeah. So I really hope.
That's all right. Vespi and everyone in the chat, thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day, evening or night, whichever it may be.
Alrighty.
And right up until next time.
See you.
Stay sharp.
Goodbye. He did the thing. He's so cool. Bye. Aw, you guys are so sweet. I need to finish decrypting a line. You guys are being scary now. Shh. Okay, guys, that's all the time I have for you guys today. Thank you so much again to our guests and all the past guests and everyone who's been listening. And I'm super happy with today's episode. I'm sorry for all the audio stuff at the beginning. Dell was working with me beforehand, and I was having him count and shit. And I thought I got it all sorted out, but turns out we'll need a little bit more experience. So thank you for your patience with me as I figured that out. If I missed greeting anyone, I hope you guys all know that I try my best. Thank you. Oh my god! Woo! Woo! 1 whole year. Thank thank you for your 12 months to the Crossroads Tavern. Hello, Boba. Hi, Yuki-chan. Thank you so much for chatting for so much, Outland and Migo. And yes, Del, thank you so much for coming on. Many, 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 many thank yous. I'm really, really, really looking forward to the future Small Talk and Small Talk Season 2 and seeing how Del answers his questions next time. But until then, I hope you guys all take care of yourselves. The next Small Talk will be May 17th. Yeah, May 17th. May 17th will be the next Small Talk, and our next guest will be, drumroll, Snufkin May. She is a lovely. Wait, hold on. I'm trying to remember what I always keep calling her Dryad in my head, but May is such a sweetie. Yes. Hold on. Let me give her a little shout out. Yes. May 17th. It'll be 5 hours from now that day, 5 p.m. CDT. Snufkin May. There you go. Let's give her a little clip shout out so we can see a little sneak peek. Give away all your info to me. Look at her! She has a model now. It's so cute. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I never fucking know. I'm sorry. She's so cute, and she's been on every now and again as a collab guest in Lethal, and in chats she'll come by, and I lurk in her streams a lot, and I'm really excited to talk to her as well. So thank you guys again. If you guys could refund Outland for his last question, I'm sorry. I'm sorry we didn't get to that one. All right, let's see if we can go give you guys somewhere else to give some love. This here is your raid message if you are a non-subscriber. And here it is if you are a subscriber. Please use the right one. Hold on. There you go. I shall scroll and hope that there's a name that pops out to me. Ah, yes. So I see a good old friend. His name is Dorkapals. Oh, God.
Sip, sip, motherfuckers. Woo!
Oh, thank you, Miko, for gifting the stream elements. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys over to PK Dorkapals. He's very comfy, very chill, and he's the rest stop of Twitch. He is exactly what you need after a long, busy day. So I'm gonna go give you guys some comfy vibes. Yes, he is wonderful. Hold on, is there an underscore? He doesn't have an underscore. And he doesn't. Okay, I thought I was hallucinating. Okay, thank you guys again so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And please look forward to the next one. Goodbye. Take care.